Good morning and welcome to Kirkham Park. I am James Robertson. I'll be a caller alongside Mike. He's just going to do something in the moment, but the finals are here. The last two games of the Ladies League Tag and the Under-23s for the Country Championships. The Ladies League Tag will be contested between the GSR West Tigers and the Central Coast Roosters here today. The way they got here last week in the semi-finals of the Southern Pool, the GSR West Tigers in a close-fought contest, they beat the Illawarra South Coast Dragons 12 points to 10, coming from behind there. The Central Coast Roosters a much easier path, defeating the Greater Northern Tigers. This will be the third year they're in the finals, and the third time they've beaten the Greater Northern Tigers to get to this point here. I'm joined by Mike, and how are you going today, mate?
Very well, thanks, James. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Harvey Shepherd Field at Kirkham Park. A perfect autumn day for the finals of the Country Championships for 2018.
Yes, and we'll run through the lineup, so I'll go through the GSR West Tigers today. Unfortunately, without Angelica Angelis from Oran Park, but 1 through 16, Maria Barcenas, Brianne Stewart, Amy Byrne, Abby Church, Brooke Anderson, Nikki Perugini, Gemma Crane, Kimberly Stevens, Tanil Leet, Casey Ledbrook, Abby Gillum, Corrine Mears, Phoebe Ann Dutton, Karina Brightwell will skip at the side, and Jessica Enright coming into the side for Angelica Angelis from Oran Park.
That's a blow, losing Angeles from the Oran Park Chargers, one of the new clubs in Group 6, but Enright, a more than capable replacement for Coach Robbie Mears with plenty of experience, and this GSR West Tigers side be very strong this morning against the Roosters.
And going through the Roosters lineup, the players that they've got here, can you single out anyone that is going to be a massive player in this game here today in the final?
Not the Roosters side. I mean, it's the old cliche that they'll have to keep an eye on everybody on the field. It really is going to be a team effort from both the Roosters and the Tigers to get the win today here at Camden. So, really going to be a tough game for both sides.
We'll go through the lineup. We've got Holly Buchanan, Ashley Russell, Sian George, Stacey Markram, Rachel Dobby, Sarah Dymick, Stephanie Sharp, she'll skip at the side, Shannon Higgins, Taya Goodhand, Christian Kessler, Ella Smith, Claudia Symington, Jocelyn Keller, Elisa Atkins, and Brittany Starr, coached by Jeff Coroneos. And, well, do you think we're going to see plenty of points in this game today, or is it going to be defence-based?
My gut feel is I think it'll be defensive. GSR West Tigers beat Illawarra South Coast 12-10, as you mentioned, in that semi-final last week. I think it'll be a similar sort of match. Low scoring, not a lot of points in it, and the margin won't be a big one either way.
But despite the fact both of these two teams great defensively, we know they can turn the points on as well. The Roosters last week putting on 30 against their opposition, the Greater Northern Tigers, to advance through to this stage, and GSR putting 40 points on against the Monaro Colts the week previous in Wagga Wagga.
They've certainly got the firepower there, no question about that. But being a final, defence usually wins these premierships and titles, so I'd be expecting a tight affair, but you wouldn't be surprised if both sides, especially inside the quarter, they'll certainly throw the ball around and be looking to score points whenever they can. And
just before we start, SLE, Worldwide Australia, is our major sponsor for Country Rugby League. Bar TV Sports, making you be able to watch this live stream through Facebook Live and also Twitter. You can find the links. And Victor Sports, another sponsor. The GSR West Tigers, they'll be running from left to right on your screen. And the Roosters to receive.
Yeah, the Tigers effectively on home turf at Camden, so several local players here and ex-local players very familiar with these surrounds here at Harvey Shepherd Field today. A perfect day, as we said, and we're just about ready for the first final for 2018.
Just trying to see who is kicking off here. It might, in fact, be the number 8, Gemma Crane. Has done a lot of the kicking for the GSR West Tigers as we get underway in the final. It is, in fact, Gemma Crane, and it's a nice long kick down, and the Roosters will get first possession of the football. They'll look to shift it towards the middle of the field early on. Nice tag there, the number 8, Shannon Higgins, being tagged. Interesting to see if we'll see some interchange of passing early on, try and spread it out wide.
Can hear plenty of chat from the GSR West Tigers, especially in defence early on. opening set of the match.
Good to see. An early kick from the Roosters down towards the broadcast side of the ground. Letting herself pick it up. I think that's Ledbrook there. And a nice tag to start proceedings.
Yeah, Ledbrook, plenty of experience with Narellan this year. Switched from Camden, the local rivals, in Group 6 in 2017. And vastly experienced player is Casey Ledbrook as the Tigers, GSR West's Tigers, get the first penalty of the day.
Yeah, and not good to see for the Roosters early on. The skipper, Stephanie Sharp, on the deck. She gets up. That'd be a really early blow if she was injured, but a tap after the penalty. The time has been blown off. So perhaps the trainer just tending to the number 7.
Yeah, certainly not a good sign, especially for the skipper from the entrance. I noted during the week several of the Tigers players in this Roosters outfit today.
They come to the left-hand side. And 5 metres short of that halfway line. Some good possession and field position early on here for the GSR West Tigers. Going through the hands, a nice run around. It's been effective throughout these country championships, but a great tag there.
That was a vital tag for the Roosters.
Abby Gillum thought she was away there.
One of the local girls from Camden almost through the gap.
Another short pass, and Abby Church and Amy Byrne, the speedsters, they're going to be dangerous here. The Roosters are going to have to look out for both of them as Crane puts it sky high. Tough test for the Roosters in this first half, staring into the sun. But a good tag there and a good set from the GSR West Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers be happy, especially forcing that error 15 metres out. Tenille Leet coming up with it. Another one who's travelled around the clubs in Group 6 as the GSR West Tigers on the attack inside the 10.
A mistagged. But she will play it short of the goal line. Another quick tag there. So what can they do? They come the short side, but the number's there for the Roosters, but a mistag. So prevalent in this Ladies League tag competition. And Kimberly Stevens gets the first points for from the Oran Park side, rather, for the GSR West Tigers in this final.
And a great start for the GSR West Tigers on home turf. Up 4 points to 0 after only a couple of minutes. And as you mentioned, Stevens from Oran Park, one of our new clubs in Group 6. Only been in existence a couple of years, and great to see several Oran Park representatives in this team. And GSR West's Tigers now out to that 4-0 lead.
Like I said, Gemma Crane doing a lot of the general play kicking and also the goal kicking. Was unsuccessful with all 3 conversion attempts last week, so I'm sure in training she would have looked to clean that up, and points being vital in such an important final. Look to put this between the sticks. The flags do go up, and the GSR West Tigers, they take the early 6-0 lead.
And to say that's a big lead early in this final is an understatement. They'd be delighted with that start, but now they'll be looking to go on with it. The Roosters, they'll certainly won't be too concerned by that early try against them, and they'll be looking to bounce back very quickly here at Camden this afternoon.
And do you think staring into the sun in this first half is going to hinder the Roosters' performance, especially in defence? I know it's hard looking into the sun to sort of see where the tags are to make those tags.
I don't think it'll make that much of a difference being near lunchtime when we play. So the sun, not a major factor for either side, but it certainly will be a hindrance. But I don't think it'll have a major bearing on the game either way.
But a picturesque day nonetheless. Not a cloud I can see in the sky.
As I remarked earlier this morning, a perfect MacArthur morning for rugby league. And the ground, as always, here at Harvey Shepherd Field at Kirkham Park in A1 condition.
Yeah, tip-top shape. I had a look at the ground previously, previous to kick-off. And, yeah, the deck in absolute cracking shape. And, well, that was just a poor use of hands there, a knock-on, and the Tigers trying to go on with the quick play the ball, unable to do so.
Referee just calling them back, but I think that was actually Russell from Erina who made the error there. There's the GSR West's Tigers now on the attack, 40 metres out.
So what can they do? They've scored with their first possession of the football inside the Roosters' half. They're looking to do much the same here. They go down the short side. A nice tag there on the number 9, Kimberly Stevens, the opening try scorer. Barcenas shift it through the hands and come through the middle again with Tanil Leet. And last tackle, looking to build a bit of pressure here. Anderson kicking towards the middle, towards the goalposts. And the fullback's just going to let it go there. Holly Buchanan, a nice play there by the entrance Tigers fullback for the Central Coast Roosters.
Well judged by Buchanan there. Had just enough on it. I thought she might have got a touch on it, but the referee ruling that it hadn't come off her legs. And the Roosters now up to their own 30 and looking to attack on the counter here down the western side of the field.
Unfortunately enough, tagged there by Maria Barcenas. You see a lot of play being stopped by tags, and thankfully enough they'll keep possession as they get over the 40-metre line. Haven't really had a chance to go inside the GSR West Tigers' half as of yet. It's going to be a kick again, long down this left-hand side of the field. Taken well there. A nice tag. So the Roosters looking to work hard defensively here to keep the Tigers inside their own half.
And that's probably been their one issue at the moment, is their defensive sets haven't been the best. They'd be looking for a good set here in defence to apply some pressure on the GSR West's Tigers and try and keep them inside their own half or not give them a lot of territory. Another good tag inside the 30 there.
Some nice footwork there from Perengini. Now here is the 3, Amy Byrne. A double last week, a try 2 weeks ago at Wagga Wagga. A charge down there from the Roosters.
Here's the chance we were talking about.
Yes, brilliant charge down and possession inside the half of the GSR West Tigers. They come out to the left hand, the right hand side rather. And a penalty about 35 metres out for a bit of contact there.
Yes, good penalty there for the Roosters to keep the momentum going inside the GSR West Tigers half. Kick for line on that eastern side of the field.
Again, about 10-15 metres there, and like you said, a really good opportunity for the Roosters to either build pressure or score some points. There's some interchanges being made here. Brittany Starr coming onto the paddock.
I know the Tigers also looking to make a couple of interchanges as well.
So what can the Roosters do? A nice tag. First real opportunity deep inside the half of the GSR West Tigers. They come away. Here's Buchanan. A little run around again. It's worked for the Tigers. Didn't work for the Roosters there on that occasion. They come through to the short side. That's the 3 in Sian George. She'll play it. They come back out to the right-hand side. A dummy. But a good tag there from the Tigers. Last tackle. A grubber towards the middle. Really just kicked for herself, but a great tag to back it up. And it's going to be a line drop out here for the Tigers.
That's exactly what the Roosters would have been hoping for, to force the repeat set if they can't get the score themselves. And that result, the second best one for any football team. And the Roosters will be delighted to get 6 more plays inside the GSR West's Tigers half. Now the question is, can they turn it into points?
Yeah, off the back of the kick from Sarah Dimmick. Here is Buchanan. Involved heavily early on. A pass through the hands. Here is Sian George. She's got support on the inside. Was she tagged before she put the ball down?
She was.
Yes. And again tagged. So they need to shift the ball out here to this right-hand side. This is what they do. A short ball on the inside. Buchanan again trying to look for the line. Here is Sharp. Through the hands again. Back on the inside trying to get the line mixed up there at the Tigers, really.
They look a little disorganised here, the Roosters. They need to probably settle down and call a couple of plays and then stick to those plays as they come back to the open side left.
Last tackle, another short grubber kick, looking for the in-goal. And, well, the Tigers get it out.
The experience of Casey Ledbrook there. One of the key players for the GSR West's Tigers.
Scoring tries in back-to-back games, but her defence as well being good through the middle third and on that left-hand edge when she's needed to go out there. So the Tigers, the pressure, they've stopped it, but not a lot of metres on this set. They're going to have to kick it out of pressure. Here's Anderson.
Good set from the Roosters there. on the back of that drop out.
And here comes the winger trying to go straight through the number 5, Rachel Dobby. And a good tag there from the Tigers. But again, another set inside the half of the Tigers. They're going to have to defend well here to keep the Roosters out.
Momentum certainly with the Roosters at the moment.
So Sharp will play it about 10 metres out. Left-hand side they come. Fake the inside ball. Goes outside to the number 2, and she can't put it down. In fact, it's going to be a penalty here to the Roosters, I believe, for a bit of contact there. So 10 metres away from the line. They've had a few sets back-to-back here, the Roosters, but no points as of yet. A quick tap and go. So through the hands once again. Trying to just find something. Like you said, they look a bit disorganised. They've got the numbers out to this right-hand side. The runaround, poor execution, great tag by the Tigers.
Sharp just not able to hold on to that cleanly. If she held on it, there was half a chance. They've got numbers on the right.
Thought it was a forward pass, but in fact a tag. The Tigers' defence just holding at the moment. Sharp holding the ball herself, and last tackle. Another grubber perhaps. There it is. But great defensive work there.
Ledbrook.
And now they're going to turn defence into attack.
In fact, not Ledbrook.
Abby Church, the local girl from Camden. So again, the pressure there from the Roosters, not enough, and the Tigers hold them off.
More changes. Leet and Brightwell about to go on for the GSR West's Tigers.
They come to the left-hand side and, well, straight through. It looks like Perengini, the number 7. She's being tagged there. Good tag, and it needed to be made as they get up over halfway.
They needed that run. The GSR West Tigers had to get some space on the other end of the field.
Brienne Stewart was trying to go down the short side herself. She'll play it.
Kick to the far side.
Anderson. They allow it to bounce. It ricochets off the upright. Thought she had grounded there.
I think we've got
it's going to be a penalty for contact. So a tag could have been made inside the goal line of the Roosters, but unfortunately contact going to result in a penalty. And the Tigers, the pressure has been relieved on the Roosters.
Certainly has, but now they need to work out of their own end. The Roosters here down 4-0. In fact, 6-0 on the scoreboard. They certainly need to be the next to score. And the time they've had in the GSR West's Tigers half, they just haven't been quite as clinical as the GSR West's Tigers girls, and just need to keep their heads a little more when they're in that attacking area.
Well, they haven't had a problem getting in that area, and they'll look to get into that area there with a kick taken there by Abby Church. She's tagged there 40 metres out. The Tigers just looking to work it away from their own half of the field. Here is Abby Church. Through their hands again. Like you said, they look a lot cleaner. Here's Ledbrook. And good tag there by the number 2, Ashley Russell from Erina. So a nice little left foot step. Here's Anderson. Gets the pass away to Enright. And again, a good tag from Russell. Back to back.
Had Barcenas on her outside, just couldn't get the ball away.
So here is the last ball put to ground. Unfortunately, an error there from the Tigers, just thinking about what they were going to do with the football before they executed.
And the cardinal sin for all footballers is spending the money before you've got it, and the Roosters make the same error. Tennille Leet with it now. 40 metres out for the GSR West's Tigers.
Well, it seems like the Roosters, when they give away possession, as Amy Byrne looking to burn through the middle, they're giving away possession, key parts of the field. The GSR West Tigers looking to capitalise. Tag there, Tennille Leet. She'll play, they'll come the short side again. Here is Anduton.
Good ball for Gillum, who wins the penalty.
Contact. Oh, no, it's going to be a penalty to the Roosters, rather. So, again, surviving the pressure of the Tigers. And just a short kick just to reset things here. What can the Roosters do as they get up to the 40? They come down the short side, but again, that tagging on both the left and right edge, I guess just in general from the Tigers, has been sensational so far.
They really haven't let the Roosters have any opportunities to find some open space. The Roosters a sloppy pass there on the left-hand side, but the Tigers really not giving them any opportunity to get on the outside of their defenders.
Well, a kick out of dummy half from Kessler. Bounce there, but Byrne takes it. And Perengini trying to use her footwork. Well, good marker work there from the Roosters. Now to the left-hand side again. And Gillam and Ledbrook, when they go to the edge, they've been dangerous.
That combination's worked many times at club level, so no surprise to see Gillam and Ledbrook teaming up together.
So a good set defensively here from the Roosters. Some nice pressure. Struggling to get a kick away on the last. And in fact, an error made. And you can hear the communication from the Roosters players. They haven't been clean. They've been dropping the ball a lot. But again, another opportunity inside the half of the Tigers. They'll like to capitalise on this one. They
certainly will look to get the points here. That's what they need to do. They've had good territory inside the GSR West's Tigers quarter, but they need to make the most of it and take the points when they're on offer like now.
So early in the tag count, looking at dummy and shimmy, and she's tagged in the end. Pass on the inside to the skipper, now out wide to the left, and another good tag there. Ashley Russell just couldn't get around the edge. Back to the right-hand side, a little pump, but again, the Tigers' defence really, really good. Last tackle. What can the Roosters do? Thought they were going for the grubber kick. It looked ugly in the end.
Amy Byrne, nice collect there for the GSR West's Tigers on her own line. Could have easily led to points for the Roosters, but read that one well.
Yeah, she's already scored one length of the field try in this country championships for the Ladies League tag. Very dangerous player, 3 tries throughout the tournament so far. No doubt they'll be looking to get the ball to her and get her across the stripe as Gemma Crane from Narellan trying to dummy and run there. They come to this short side, but struggling to get any sort of meterage. They'll try and get there with a kick. It's spiralling. That's taken well there by Holly Buchanan, who runs it back. Full pelt, nice footwork there to get past one defender, and now 2, and now they go on the counter-attack. Some nice passing, but unfortunately dropping the ball.
That was the opportunity they needed. The Roosters found a little bit of space on their right-hand side, but unfortunately that last pass not going to hand, and the GSR West's Tigers dodge another one, and they'll play it about 12 short of halfway on the eastern side of Harvey Shepherd Field.
We've seen a lot of ball being played in this middle third vicinity. A lot of errors being made here, but probably off the back of great defence, great pressure from both the sides. So through the middle, sometimes those small dummies work. Didn't work on that occasion. And it was played without a tag. So it'll be Mears to go back and play it. Now Perengini out to the wing. Here's Stevens. Tag there 40 metres out. Last tackle. Perengini again. And again, the pressure of the Roosters.
I don't think she realised it was the last there, Perengini. I don't think she knew it was the last play. Otherwise, they would have got a kick away. But poor communication there from the GSR West Tigers on the last.
Yeah, it definitely looked like she was trying to run the football. But it's gifted the Roosters some possession as they get just over, well, by the time the tag was made, just inside their own half, but they will cross over the halfway stripe with some nice footwork from Buchanan, trying to do the best she can to get the Roosters in a good position. And another good tag out there wide. Stacey Markram trying to get around defenders. Buchanan with a second run of the set. Last tackle, sharp, sky high. Pressure here for the Tigers, taken well there. It was Kimberly Stevens. The Tigers at the moment, both teams going through the motions, just trying to go set for set with each other.
And it seems to be that sort of game that neither side giving away too much. The Tigers with that early tries, we see an opportunity down the left. But the Tigers with that early try. They just seem to be holding the Roosters at bay, not allowing them, especially inside the quarter, to get any real momentum up. But the Roosters throwing plenty at the Tigers. The Tigers having to work out of their own end here, about 35 metres out from their own line.
And perhaps the Tigers are okay with a 6-0 lead at the moment. They know they've got them defensively, and they know if the Roosters do score, they can get them in attack as well.
Possibly the case, but I suspect there's not going to be a lot in this match. The Tigers, I don't think they'll be able to rest on one try only this afternoon in the final. I think they'll need more than one to their name, but the defence has been excellent from both sides so far today.
Well, like we said, defence is going to be important, but both teams quite capable of scoring points. And a play-the-ball penalty, we've seen it numerous times in all 4 competitions. You've got to play the ball correctly.
Yes, that's a strong ruling from the referees this year that you must play it correctly, and regardless of what grade you're in, it needs to be done in the correct manner. And the Roosters getting pinged there for the incorrect play the ball, giving the Tigers a good opportunity here with Stevens making a good run to 32 metres out.
They come down across to the left-hand side. They look like they have the numbers if they can get the ball out there. They still do have the numbers as Stevens gets the pass away and Byrne. That's going to be a penalty there to the Roosters for contact, unfortunately. And it seems like the last couple of minutes the Tigers, they've had possession down this end of the field, but the Roosters keeping them at bay at the moment.
And that's, I think, how it's going to be for a lot of the day, that neither side giving many opportunities inside the quarter, and it'll probably be played predominantly between the two 20-metre lines. And whichever team can get on top there will probably come away with the victory at the end.
And the score so far, 6 points to 0, the GSR West Tigers over the Central Coast Roosters. As we see another error there, and the Tigers, they pick it up there with Brooke Anderson from Campbelltown City. Here's Amy Byrne trying to get around defenders. But yeah, 6-0. Opening try to Kimberly Stevens. Converted by Gemma Crane. The Tigers looking to score their second try. As Perangini is tagged there just short of the halfway mark. Nice little dummy on the inside, and they were going to go to Abbey Church. She's knocked it on there, and the Roosters with field position inside the Tigers' half once again. Like we said, a lot of ball to be played in between these 20-metre lines. Great defence on display so far here today. The Roosters, what is it going to take? Where do they have to go to get a 4-pointer?
I think it's going to take something out of the box here for the Roosters. They've tried going left and going right side. I think it's going to take a special play like this inside the 10.
Well, a nice pass there, but in fact she was tagged just short of the line. We spoke about defence being an integral part of this game. And a great instance there as a grubber into the in-goal. Good chase, but waited dead. Shielding the ball almost, so the Tigers going to get a tap 20 metres out for their own line.
That was just the result the Tigers were looking for. The Roosters throwing everything at them, but you're saying what's it going to take for them to get a score? I think it's going to take something a little bit out of the ordinary, or a special play out of the box, a chip and chase, or an intercept or something like that. I'm not sure where they're going to find a way through this GSR West's Tigers defensive line, which has been excellent in the opening half.
Well, that's what the Illawarra South Coast Dragons did last week, as we see the number 11, Casey Ledbrook, she's trying to go length of the field. I thought she was tagged, and in fact she was, by the fullback, Holly Buchanan. Great stuff there.
And she has been penalised for it as well.
I think it was for contact once again. But it was, in fact, an intercept that the Dragons got last week, and that halted the momentum of the Tigers. Unfortunately, the Tigers, well, for the Dragons' sake, the Tigers were able to come back. But like you said, an intercept or a chip and chase, something is going to have to happen here for the Roosters out of the ordinary.
I just think they'll need... There's a siren in the background for half-time. An interesting opening 25 minutes. Only the one try scored. It's the way of the GSR West's Tigers, 6-0 at the break.
Oh boy, 25 minutes goes by when you're having fun. A great display, both offensively and defensively. We've seen both teams make line breaks in this first half. The opening try, like we said, to Kimberly Stevens, converted by Gemma Crane. But where do both teams need to go to? What are the coaches going to be saying at halftime?
Well, looking at the GSR West's Tigers, I think Robbie Mears, he'd be happy with their defensive effort. They haven't had a lot of possession inside the quarter of the Central Coast Roosters. I think if they can capitalise on their opportunities inside the Roosters quarter and take those chances when they arrive, I think that'll be the key thing for them. Their defence has been excellent. They just need to keep continuing with that. For the Roosters, Jeff Coronillos, I think he'd just be looking for them to keep their heads when they're in attacking positions. Just keep their heads, keep calm. Don't waste those chances when they come, because they're very few and far, as we know, in a final. You need to take them when they're available. I think they just need to keep composed when they get to the line.
And definitely halftime here. The Ladies League Tag final between the GSR West Tigers and the Central Coast Roosters. The Tigers lead 6-0 here from Kirkham Park. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this. Welcome back to the final of the Ladies League Tag here. Kirkham Park, Camden is the venue. 6-0 half time. I'm joined by Mike Sheen and great first half we've seen, both defensively and offensively. Just a really hard final.
And that's exactly what you'd expect in a country championship final, that both sides, their attacks been on song, their defence has been excellent. Only the one try scored, and you'd certainly be expecting not a lot less. The second 25 minutes will be more of the same. Can the Tigers hold on as we get underway for the trophy in the Ladies League Tag Final?
Flew by in the first half. Sure, it can fly by in the second half. Ryan Micallef, the referee. Josh Ashkar and Ryan Swenny are touch judges. Forgot to mention them in the first half. Doing a wonderful job out here. It is the Tigers with first use of the football for the second half. Only the one try scored, but no lack of trying from both teams offensively. They come out here to the right-hand side, and that's Abby Church. She's tagged just short of the halfway line. Good set to start things off. Here's Anderson, kicks it down. She's been really impressive. Holly Buchanan, the fullback for the Central Coast Roosters.
That was a good tag there from Perugini. She's been one of the better players for the Tigers in the opening 25 minutes.
Kessler with a bit of a dummy and run. They look to spread it early in the tackle count. The tag count, rather, and here we go. Some speed shown by Ashley Russell. Does she have the legs to get all the way? A missed tag there by Maria Barcinas, I believe you'll find it was. And Ashley Russell, well, they've come out of the dugout on absolute fire, the Central Coast Roosters. First set with the ball. Buchanan, nice run back. They come out to the left-hand side, and Ashley Russell gets the ball down.
That was a lovely piece of play, as we can see on the replay. The bounce pass out wide found George. George found Russell, and she put the ears back over the 30, took on the cover defence, was able to beat the cover tackle and score the opening try of the second half for the Central Coast Roosters. Now to add the extras from out wide on the left-hand side to tie it up at 6-all in the final.
Well, I'm kicking it myself that didn't happen out on the right-hand side. Foot race between her and Amy Byrne would have been something to watch. Both of them speedsters. I thought Amy Byrne had some pace, but boy, Ashley Russell showing some toe there to get over the line.
And they'd be celebrating back at Erina Leagues Club, the Eagles flyer getting the opening try for the Roosters early in the second half.
I'm just trying to see who is taking the conversion here for the Roosters. It might in fact be the skipper Stephanie Sharp out here on this far touchline. He's right out there, 18 metres out. Nonetheless, struck pretty well. Well enough to get over the uprights and through the sticks. 6-all.
That's exactly what the Roosters needed early in the second half to get some points on the board. Now it's well and truly game back on. We're all level in the final. What have the Tigers got left in the tank? I don't know if they've played all their cards early on, but they'll be looking to...
And it was Holly Buchanan, the woman that started it all with that lovely run back from fullback. First set went according to plan for the GSR West Tigers, but defensively, just a bit of a slip-up, but a nice attacking raid down that left-hand edge.
And as I said earlier, I thought it'd take something a bit special, a bit out of the box, and that ball to the left-hand side was pretty special, as we see another one down the right-hand side there through Dobby.
Yeah, trying to go down the right-hand side on this occasion, but a nice tag there by the edge player of the GSR West Tigers. And the Roosters, they look like they have some life in them in this second half. They run to the line of pass, and down the left-hand side they come. Are they going to look for Ashley Russell? Yes, they will, but on this occasion, Abby Gillum with a death-defying tag there. The Roosters trying the old run around. It will be the last tackle, hand raised by the referee. What can the Roosters do? They put a kick into the in goal. It's going to be hard pressure here for... I thought Amy Byrne was going to take it, but nonetheless it is a tag inside the in goal. And the Roosters have started this second half red hot.
They have certainly been the better of the two teams in the second half. And they have looked very sharp after the halftime break. They've come out firing, and they've got all the momentum going their way at the moment. This could be an ominous sign for the GSR West's Tigers.
Well, I don't think they've... I know it's only early in the second half, but I don't think they've looked this vulnerable all tournament. So what can the Roosters do? Another great tag. Dobby trying to go down the sideline off the short dropout. And the Roosters, a great place to be in. And great amount of possession that they've had early in the first half. They threw the hands. It seems, I thought she was going to go through the gap there. It was the 8, Shannon Higgins. They seem to have the numbers. No. And was tagged just before the line. Good tag there. Keller thought she was over.
That was a vital tag there for the Tigers to make only a few metres out from their own line.
A dummy each way, and here she goes again. And again tagged. Well, Keller's tried to go over twice, and she's been tagged twice. Last tackle.
Thought there might have been obstruction there. Referee said no.
A nice little grubber kick into the in-goal. And Sian George, 2 players on the left-hand side, have gotten over, scored tries.
Central Coast now leads at 10 points to 6, with a kick to come from wide on that, hard up against that left-hand side touchline for the Roosters.
Well, we saw Steph Sharp in the first half try those little grubber kicks in the in-goal, and unfortunately she didn't get the result that she wanted. But in this second half, it's been Sharp, it's been Sarah Dimmick who have kept going with those grubber kicks in the in-goal, and persistence has paid off in this instance.
It certainly has paid off, and the Roosters, it's obviously a tactic to go down that left-hand side. They see a weakness down the GSR West's Tigers right as the kick is on its way, but unsuccessful. So the Tigers still in it at 10 points to 6, but it's a clear tactic to attack that GSR West's Tigers right, and they'll need to be awake to that as they now trail by 4 points.
It's such a close scoreline. Those goals are going to come in handy. I think that misconversion from Holly Buchanan might play a factor into the finish, whether it's a win for the Central Coast Roosters or a win for the GSR West Tigers. But we'll get back underway here through the boot of Gemma Crane. The Tigers, they need to flip the switch, so it seems, in this second half, because the Roosters have come out a completely different looking football club.
And they haven't had a lot of possession in the second half, the GSR West's Tigers. They probably need some possession to go their way, and a little bit of territory wouldn't hurt either, as they have had precious little of either in the second half.
Well, back out to that left-hand side they come. It seems like the only side they want to go to. They come through the middle. The defence has been the #1 game of the Tigers. They're going to have to attack here. Nice kick. Bounces over the head there of Abby Church. She's got some work to do because that chase is fantastic. And a nice tag there. I think it was the 4 in Stacey Markram from Erina. The Tigers having to get back on side. It's a pressure shown here for the Roosters.
Tigers need to keep their composure here, as we talked about in the first half with the Roosters. They just need to keep their heads. They've got plenty of experienced players on the field. As they work it up towards the 30, they just need to keep their composure, try and force an error from the Roosters inside the Roosters half if they can.
We're live here with the Ladies League Tag final here at Camden between the Central Coast Roosters and the GSR West Tigers, streamed through Bar TV Sports and through Facebook Live. Here's the kick from Anderson, charged down, 6 again. I don't think they saw the call from the referee, hence the kick. So giving possession back to the Roosters. Unfortunately there they had a fresh set of 6 but didn't see the call.
Yeah, a communication error there from the GSR West's Tigers. As you said, I don't think they heard the call that they had 6 more plays, but they'd be happy with getting that kick away in the end and not conceding too much territory to the Central Coast Roosters, which has been their downfall at the moment.
Well, the Roosters tag there just over the halfway line as they stack this short side, and there's the kick from Steph Sharp, the captain, looking for touch, couldn't find it, but again the Tigers, they're going to have to work it away from their own end, and Well, tag just on the 10-metre line there. We go back and ask to play the ball.
Tigers, again, as I said, they're getting plenty of possession, but they're in their own end of the field. They need to find a way like this, straight up the middle of the field towards halfway.
And here goes the 13, Kareen Mears. She's being tagged. Quick play the ball. What can the Tigers do? Can they conjure up something here? Some good pressure there and a nice tag from the Roosters. But it's better field position than they have had. Another dummy there from Mears, but again, tag short. 38 metres short to be exact. Last tackle. Pressure kick there from Anderson. It's going to be fielded there by Buchanan at the back. Has been very solid today. The Roosters again working it away from their own end, and perhaps the Tigers need a bit of luck, and well, that's the bit of luck that they needed.
That's the opportunity we've been talking about. They needed some possession and territory inside the Roosters quarter. They finally get it 22 metres out, looking for a straight run, almost through the line there.
And Mears heavily involved, looking for that short ball.
No coincidence, Corinne Mears leading this team around.
So Perengini tagged short of the line, about 20 metres out. They come through the hands. The short ball, perhaps looking for that run around that's worked for them. And that was the last tackle. The last tag, rather.
No kick on the last. Again, communication being an issue for the Tigers, the GSR West's Tigers today. That's not the first time they've had trouble on the last, taking the wrong option. But at least the Roosters, for their sake, are at the right end of the field. And they've forced an error here, the GSR West's Tigers. So here's another chance.
And knock on at the play the ball. Great field position. Time ticking down. So they're going to want to get a move on and try and score points as fast as they can. I thought there was another break there from Abby Gillen. But again, this tagging has been fantastic from the Central Coast Roosters. They look to shift the play out to the right-hand side. They came left first, a dummy. But again, defence has been the number one priority. Claudia Symington on that occasion. And again, a nice tag.
Gillam nearly through the line. They've made several half breaks, the GSR West's Tigers, but just not able to completely get through the line.
Looking to go with that
Quick
shift.
Hands here.
Back out to the right-hand side.
Tag just made.
Brilliant tag there from one try scorer, Ashley Russell. A dummy to the left, and Anderson.
I think that might be obstruction.
Penalty called. You can't run around your own player, and well, the Roosters can breathe a sigh of relief. And they'll no doubt kick it into touch and trying to gain some metres here.
They've been camped in their own area for the last few minutes. They'll get some relieving territory, only about 10 or 15 metres though, so not completely off the hook just yet. If the Tigers can force an error here, time becoming a factor for them. They'll need to score quickly if they're a chance to get back into this final.
And perhaps it's superstition, but maybe they're not coming out to this right-hand side because they know the threat that Abby Byrne possesses with her pace. You spoke about the Roosters needing an intercept. Maybe they think that Abby Byrne's going to go for the intercept on the left-hand side. But they come through the middle now, and a nice tag from Casey Ledbrook. The Roosters come to the right-hand side. And it seems every time they come to the right-hand side, no matter the tag count, as they force an error. So it'll be a play the ball here for the Roosters, but every time they come to the right-hand side, no matter the tag count, they're kicking early. So they do know the threat. There are the left-hand side defence for the GSR West Tigers as they come back out to their left offensively. They go straight through, and a nice tag there. Short of the line, but they have the numbers. They go through the hands. A dummy, a put down, and a try. The number 8, Shannon Higgins from Terrigal, advances the lead out to 14 points to 6.
I think that's just about going to do it for the Central Coast Roosters. Nice run there. I think it was the 14 Kelleher making a big run downfield. And on the next play, the dummy there from Higgins was a nice one. Fooled the GSR West's Tigers defence. And they go through to a 14-6 lead. And you would think that this could well be enough for the Central Coast Roosters to claim the Ladies League Tag title in 2018.
Well, we only saw the one try in the first half for the Roosters. They came out on fire. They scored 30 points last week, so we know there was no lack of points in both of these sides. And the Roosters have just shown their attacking style of football here in this second half. 14 points so far, and Buchanan, having missed the previous shot at goal, looking to make it 16 points to 6.
And you would certainly back her in from this position, only about 12 or 13 metres out, 10 to the right of the uprights. You'd back her in to make it a 10-point margin, and in the context of this game, that is a massive lead for the Roosters.
It's still 10 minutes to go, plenty of time, but the Roosters have been good defensively. And there it is, an extra 2 points from Holly Buchanan, her second goal of the day. 16 points to 6, and yeah, well, like we said, just short of 10 minutes to go. The Tigers, they're going to need to do something special here to fight back the lead.
They will certainly need a special effort here in the last 10 minutes to get back home, back home, back over the line and in front to claim the country championship title. They are on home turf here at Camden today, but this is going to take a big effort from the girls in the yellow and black to get over the line.
Well, I said last week that the game they played against the Illawarra South Coast Dragons, the 12 points to 10 game they played there was going to be more difficult than this game, and I think they may have played their final last week. They gave it their absolute everything, and they did so in the first half. But maybe mentally they're a bit drained as the Roosters look to play again this attacking style football we've seen. They come out to the left hand side with a good tag there desperately from the Tigers.
Yeah, the Tigers. I don't think there's an issue with their commitment here today. They've certainly turned up, and I don't think they're about to open the floodgates, as it were, but that was a forward pass there from the Central Coast Roosters. I think it was the 9, Tia Goodhand, making the error there. The Tigers, plenty of opportunities. As we said, there's about 9 minutes to go, so they'll certainly look to score in the next couple of minutes if there any chance to get back into this final.
Well, definitely. There's not a lot between these two teams on paper. Perhaps we'll see something here. And here goes. Oh, I thought she was through.
They've got a penalty, though.
They do have the penalty. 10. Would have loved to take the advantage on that one, Amy Byrne.
Again, down that left-hand side. They see that as a real attacking area, the GSR West's Tigers, as they come back to the open right.
Such a threat. What can they do? A dummy and run there from Church. Tagged. And again, the Roosters clinical in their defence. 15 metres out are the Tigers. They look for that run around again. It's been so effective, but Ledbrook tagged. Left-hand side. Run around again and perhaps biting off more than they could chew on that occasion. Play on is called. Playing to the referee's whistle, Perangini.
I think the Roosters appealing for a tag there, but it wasn't made.
And here goes Amy Byrne.
No.
And again tag. Great display of tagging here for the Roosters.
The defence inside their own quarter has been excellent today. The Roosters, can they keep it going?
Crane, Mears now going back on the inside. Last tackle. Quick play the ball. Looking for a grubber kick into the in-goal was Anderson, but well fielded there. The 19, Brittany Starr. And now the Tigers, they're going to have to come up with something defensively, you'd have to think, and try and get this football back.
That'll be the key. Get the football back. Keep them pinned in this area of the field if they can. The Roosters, Kelleher there making a run. She's been good in the second half. The Tigers need to keep them inside their own area. 30 metres out now. That's the last. You
see some urgency from the Tigers defensively as the kick comes down to Abby Church. She'll field it about 40 metres out, and she's running it back with some real,
penalty to the
penalty
Roosters
for an obstruction. That could be almost the killing blow here for the GSR West Tigers. The Roosters will soak up as much time as they can with this penalty.
Yeah, certainly not looking good for the GSR West's Tigers now. The time against them, the scoreboard against them, and the momentum of the match against them as well.
And the Roosters with an opportunity to put this one to bed. 22 metres out. So what can the Roosters come up with here? What is running through their mind? Another try to put this one to bed, or just to grab her into the in goal to keep the pressure alive? The runaround working on this occasion. Here's Buchanan.
She's been dangerous today, Holly Buchanan. I'd hate to be picking the Player of the Match award because there's been a host of them for the Roosters.
Well, thankfully that's not our job. Not too sure what happened there, but the Tigers have it.
Can they mount something late?
Well, they need to. The Roosters on the counter attack early in the second half, and the Tigers need to do the same here late in the second half. They come to the short side from dummy half. And it was the 9, Kimberly Stevens, trying to catch a marker out, perhaps.
And the referee's issuing a caution here, and a penalty goes to the Roosters.
I think just a bit of contact. Maybe some back chat there from one of the girls. And 4 minutes remaining. I think it's all over at the moment, but the Roosters, they'll want to finish strongly here for the fans that have come to watch them here today. All their family and friends have made the trip up.
They certainly will, and thankfully for the Roosters girls, not a long trip home this afternoon up the M1 to Terrigal and the entrance and Wyong.
You see the skipper, Sharp. She wants to be a part of this, the finishing raid, and there she is, Sharp, looking to the line, looking to get over it. And the Roosters have been excellent here in this second half. They come up with a final 4-pointer to put the icing on top of a very delicious cake. Through the hands again. Nice short ball. Offload on the inside. Oh. I don't think she was tagged. And it's the number 10, Christian Kessler, the entrance. And that is all she wrote. The Central Coast Roosters, they get over the line for the third time in this second half. Or is it it's the fourth time? 4 tries in this second half. Nice pass there. And support play. Great support play from the Roosters. Great hands. It just wasn't enough. The Roosters have just been the better team in this second half.
Oh, they've been far and away the better team in this second half. They have dominated the second 25 minutes and well and truly deserving winners of the Country Championships Ladies League Tag title in 2018. The GSR Wests Tigers put in a great effort in the first half, but not able to come up with the goods in the second half. And the Central Coast Roosters, deserving winners. Simply a matter of the scoreline now with the final couple of minutes remaining.
And so far, the try scorers Ashley Russell, Shannon Higgins, Christian Kessler,
and Sean George.
And those 2 girls out on the left-hand side, both getting over the stripe. The left-hand attack has been sensational. Holly Buchanan gets her third for the afternoon. I suppose we're in afternoon now. It's across midday. 22 points to 6. And just going through the motions until they can kick it out into touch at the moment.
This is the final stages of this one. Well and truly on ice the result, but the GSR Wests Tigers can hold their heads high. They've been excellent getting through to the final here at Harvey Shepherd Field today as they go for the short restart. Doesn't work though. The Roosters end up with possession.
Well, it just seems like the Roosters have had everything going for them in this second half as they look to go to the left-hand side again. 2 or 3 tries scored down that left-hand side. Thought there was a tag made. And there is there. There's a seconds wind down. They're still looking to play an attacking brand of football. Good to see, though. But no doubt they'll be thrilled with this performance. Nice footwork. Last tag. The Tigers will get a chance with the football. But it will be in vain. If they do score, it will be consolation.
Inside the final 35 seconds.
35 seconds remaining. And still some urgency shown by the Roosters. Good to see.
And the Tigers certainly not going wondering either. They've been attempting to attack all afternoon as we see a little grubber kick through Ledbrook. Just not able to get there in time.
Well diffused by Rachel Dobby. The last few seconds here.
This will just about ice it.
Again. There is the siren. I think they'll just take the tag, and the Central Coast Roosters, there is the whistle. They have won the Ladies League Tag Country Championships final. The team from the Northern Pool has defeated the GSR West Tigers 22 points to 6. Went through the try scorers, Russell, George, Higgins and Kessler. 3 from 4 for Holly Buchanan. And the lone try scorer, Kimberly Stevens, open proceedings today, but a second half, just a really good second half performance by the Roosters. They did enough to stay in the first half, but they came out on top in the second.
They certainly did. They were with the GSR West's Tigers all day. They trailed 6-0 at the break, but the second half performance was outstanding from the Central Coast Roosters, and deserving winners 22 points to 6.
And if you were to pick a player of the match, who would you pick? For me, I've got to go with Holly Buchanan.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. She was excellent in the number one. I thought she was outstanding, and yeah, she was certainly among the better players for the Roosters, and if she does get the award, you certainly wouldn't argue the point.
Well, great shown there. The Roosters emphatic and obviously happy that they have won the Ladies League Tag Finals. And the GSR West Tigers, like we said, they can hold their heads high. They've played fantastic throughout this whole tournament, just short here today.
Yeah, they've been excellent, the GSR West's Tigers girls, and Coach Robbie Mears, manager Kim Marie Teal. Excellent job with the squad in 2018. Some of those names that we mentioned, Church, Perugini, Crane, Leet, Ledbrook, Gillum, Mears, they were excellent. But just not able to get over the line today.
Well, don't go anywhere. We'll have the ceremony for the medallions, I suppose, and the winner of the player of the match. But we have our under-23s final coming up as well. That'll be 12:30 kickoff, I believe, between the Monaro Colts and the Northern Rivers. And I love seeing this bloke play. Tavito Rohat Tuinauwai. He's going to be a key factor for this Colts side. The Northern Rivers, after a 60-point blowout against North Coast, this is going to be a high-scoring contest.
You would certainly think so. Monaro certainly looking good as we see the presentations about to begin. Monaro, probably the sentimental favourites, although Northern Rivers, been a long time since we've seen Northern Rivers in a country championship final, so there'd be a lot of support for both these teams today and should be a cracker.
Well, the Monaro Colts are the defending champions of this competition in this age group, and like we said, Northern Rivers, they've made it here, and they're going to want to put in a 100% effort here today.
It should be a fascinating final. Monaro predominantly dominated by that Canberra district competition, and that will be a very strong side. But Northern Rivers, they haven't done this by accident, and they'll be more than challenging for the Monaro Colts this afternoon.
Don't go anywhere. I think it is a 12:30 kickoff. We'll be getting underway, but stick around. I'm sure we've got the presentation here. Sit back, grab a cold beverage, watch that, and the 23s, they'll be on the country championships at 12:30 between the Monaro Colts and the Northern Rivers. And stay tuned for that.
We'd like to recognise that SLE, our major sponsor of the senior under-23s and League Tag final, and we'd like to call up the captain of the Greater Western Tigers to say a few words to kick the presentation off.
First Firstly, I'd like to congratulate the Central Coast Roosters and Jeff for a great game. We just went in the second half, but I'd like to thank my girls. Pretty awesome effort to make it to the grand final in the Group 6 competition. This is the first year we've made it, and we're pretty proud of everyone. I'd like to thank our coaching staff, Kim for her awesome management skills, Noonan for just being Noonan. Thanks for wearing the right undies at training. Jocelyn and Nadia for all your help on game day. And to Robbie, thanks to our coach. We would have been for the grand final today if it wasn't for him and his coaching. So, and last but not least, these girls are awesome to play with. We love travelling every week and we'll be back next year. And thank you to Country Rugby League and Camden Rams for hosting the event today. Thank you.
Very well said, Karina. We're going to have Will Jury from the Referees Association present our match officials, their presentation, their medals being involved in the League Day final. Our referee name was Ryan McCullough from Group 7. Touch Judge Ryan Sleedy from Monaro. And Josh Ashgar from Group 6. Can we call up now the captain of the Central Coast Roosters, say a few words, and accept the shield on behalf.
Firstly, we just want to say a massive thank you to the Tigers. You guys came out and you gave us a hard game, so we can't thank you enough. It was unreal, so thanks, girls. To their coach Robbie as well, you have created such a gun side, and you girls are just amazing, so thanks for a good game. And to NRL and everyone for having us here and the support from the crowd. Oh, my bad, sorry, CRL, not NRL, we're close, we'll get there one day. To the Camden Rams for having us. I know the girls already mentioned it, but this field is amazing, and even the colours between the lines are really impressive. We thought we'll go to play over there, and then we came out, it was nice and green, so we're stoked. And then this is Steph.
Yeah, thanks for a good hard game, girls. These are all guns. To our girls, you put in 100% in every game we play, and I couldn't be more proud of you. To Jeff Rowe, we're sorry for stressing you out. Every game we play. That's why you need no hair. But yeah, and all our coaching staff is amazing. To Fred and Dennis and all boys, thank you. And to our supporters, we couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. Holly Buchanan. Number 2, Ashley Russell. Number 3, Sean George. Number 4, Stacey Markham. Number 5, Rachel Dobby. 6, Sarah Divic. Myself. Number 8, Shannon Higgins. Number 9, Tia Goodman. Number 10, B. Kristen Kemper. Number 11, Ella Smith. Number 12, Courtney Thornton. 14, Jocelyn Kelleher. 16, Alicia Atkins. And last but not least, Britt Starr. And Jeff Rowe. And Sammy. Quinton, Louie, Peach.
Is Lyle coming up too?
So just to wrap our presentations up, ladies, just to finalise our league day presentations, I'd like to call up the East Coast chairman and member of the Sarah Board, Wayne Bridge, to announce the players player. Men of the match, female of the match. So the 2018 Ladies League Tag Country Championship player of the match, number 6, Sam. Sarah, sorry, my bad too there. Sarah Dimici. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for our second game today. If you've only just joined us, just to recap on the earlier games, we had the Central Coast Roosters running out winners over the GSR West Tigers in the Ladies League Tag, 22 points to 6. And now for our second game of the day, the Country Rugby League Championships, the Under-23s final. Today will be contested between the Monaro Colts and the Northern Rivers team. The Monaro Colts are number 1, Ryan McQueen, and number 2, Kyle Shepperton.
Welcome back. We've got the Under-23s Country Championships final. We just saw the Ladies League Tag. Great display of attack and defence. But we've got the Monaro Colts and the Northern Rivers. The Monaro Colts are defending champs. They beat the Illawarra South Coast Dragons 48 points to 18 last start in the semi-final of the Southern Pool. And the Northern Rivers 64 to 12 against North Coast. I'm joined by Mike Sheen. Thanks for being here with me, mate.
No worries. Good afternoon, everybody.
And we'll go quickly through the Monaro Colts lineup. At fullback, Ryan McQueen. He skippers the side. On the wings, Kyle Shepperton, Chris Hart. In the centres, Tavita Roja, Tui Nauvai and Riley Thomas. In the halves, Nicholas Cornish and Derek Hay. Locking the scrum will be Tyson Greenwood. The second row is Nuke Ngiri and Cleve McGee. And up front, Kai Madden, Zach Patch and Luke Skidmore. And on the bench, we'll have Dane Spencer, Ron Leopai, Luke Ingram, Connor Brebner and Noah Vasisi. The Northern Rivers side, you want to go through it, mate?
Yeah, Jacob Folland at fullback from Morris Brothers. Michael Duane on one wing from Ballina. His teammate Liam Anderson on the other. A couple of Seagulls on the wings. Reece Riches from Ballina and Ben O'Gorman from Coogin in the centres. Sam Grant from Coogin, the 5'8", and Tani Robinson from Tweed Coast Raiders at half. Lock forward, Kyle Kennedy from Morris Brothers. The second row, Jacob Hoban from Marist and Anthony Coleman, the skipper from Ballina. And the front row is Caleb Zeeble from Coogin, Joe Besgrove from Mawullumbar and Nick Morrissey from the Casino Cougars. On the bench, Luke Campbell from Tweed Coast, Hayden Pratt from Casino, Kalani Hensby out of Tweed Coast and Lockie Perrin from Marist Brothers in Lismore.
And the coach of the Monaro Colts, Ash Barnes, the coach Max Beecher of Northern Rivers Region. And just before we kick off, Joey Butler, from Hunter Valley Group 21, he will be refereeing this contest today. Good moment for him.
Yes, and Billy Greatbatch from Group 10 in the Western Region and Caroline Nolan from South Coast Group 7. They're our touch judges. So a big moment for all the officials to take control of a country championships final.
And a big moment for both these two teams here. Great display of attacking rugby league last week from both of them. Combined over 100 points. And I think you said it was going to be close, low scoring in the last game. I think this one is going to be full of points.
Let's see what happens over the next 80 minutes. Northern Rivers kicking off. Monaro running left to right, defending the golf course end of Harvey Shepherd Field in the first half.
And it's going to be the number 22, Connor Brebner, getting the start. And he will start things off here for the Monaro Colts. We'll go across to Riley Thomas. All of the backline scoring last week in the semi-final at Workers Arena in Goulburn. So no doubt there is some try-scoring ability here from everyone here in the Monaro Colts as they come down the left-hand side. Nice dummy from Zach Patch and a flick pass by Tavita Aroha, Tui Nauvai. And here is the fullback and the captain McQueen. What a slick offload. It results in an error. The scramble defence from Northern Rivers just got them short, but what about the flick pass from Tavita Aroha Tui Nauvai to start things here?
That flick pass was incredible from Tavita. That was an amazing piece of play. Monaro certainly flexing their muscles in the opening set of 6 and showing they are here to play and take the country championship title back down the Hume motorway this afternoon.
I think the most impressive thing about that, just the speed of which he just flicked it out effortlessly.
Yeah, it was like he'd done it for 15 years, and he was more than happy with the result there from his skipper, Ryan McQueen, the West Belconnen Warriors #1, as Northern Rivers bring it out of their own end.
And are we going to see an equally impressive attacking rate in this first set here from the Northern Rivers region as they try and work it away from their own end? Like we said, 64 points to 12 against North Coast last week in their respective semi-final in the Northern Pool. It was 40-plus points in the first half. So we know that they're fast starters. As they get to within, up to the 40-metre line. Some physicality here early on by both teams.
Monaro certainly muscling up in defence in that first set as Northern Rivers get the kick away.
It seems to be Tane Robertson.
Found the line.
Great kick, and I think you might find it's a...
Is it a 40-20?
We'll see here if they get the tap restart.
Oh, I thought I saw the referee extend his left arm there.
I can't quite see with the vision that we have at the moment.
I don't think it is because they're going to form the scrum. So I think if it had been a...
Yeah, it would have been a tap restart.
It would have been a tap
but
restart.
A great kick nonetheless.
An excellent kick from Northern Rivers. Applying the pressure for Monaro. As we see Nick Cornish to work the scrum for Monaro.
Look to keep the pressure on here early with their defence, but it is a big physical pack, and he is... Well, he's in the outside backs. He could probably play in the forwards of Rohatui Nauvai. And just look at how he carries defenders. He's only got 2 on him. Very impressive, quick play the ball. Comes away to Luke Skidmore. Scored the opening try last week in Goulburn. Patch opts to go to the short side.
That left-hand side already proving to be a successful avenue for Monaro.
As it has done in the previous games that they have played. So Patch again to the short side this time. Goes away to Hay, who puts it sky high. Taken well, but great defence, great chase from Monaro.
I don't envy the fullbacks these days. He camped under that one 3 metres out, and the Monaro defence was running onto him, and he was crunched as soon as he caught the ball. As Northern Rivers work out of their own end, but who'd want to be a back or a fullback or a winger these days? With these centres like Tavita coming through at you. No thanks, I'll stick to the commentary box.
Well, a lot of them these days are, upwards towards the 100-kilo mark. An under-23s competition, possibly a bit lighter, not a chance yet to develop the muscle long-termers. But, well, the ball's coming towards us and just bounces short. It'll be just over the halfway line, so good field position here for the Northern Rivers region to go on the attack, and it's the 11, the captain, Anthony Coleman, with possession here for Northern Rivers.
Good chance for Northern Rivers to mount something here early on. First couple of minutes, that's a good run upfield, another 10 or 12 metres made by the boys from the north.
As the wind is blowing and falling to one knee was the dummy half, they come out to the right-hand side. To the other back rower, that's Jacob Hopman. So a great opportunity to post first 4 points here.
Good ball out the back there.
Great offload, turns him on the inside. So the defence working overtime here for the Monaro Colts. They look to have the numbers. Opts to hold the ball. A nice offload out the back by the captain. And they're just looking to find a gap, a bit of space for the Monaro Colts defence holding early on. Left-hand side they come. Sweeping around the back. Great cut-out pass there from the fullback. Tried to get the offload away was the winger. It'll be Michael Dwayne in number 2. But the defence just too much. Great cut-out pass from Jacob Folland, but the defence holds of the Monaro Colts.
Been a good start the first 5.5 minutes from both sides. Northern Rivers not afraid to attack early on. Monaro, they're countering down the left-hand side, but their defence has been good in the first 5 minutes here at Harvey Shepherd Field at Kirkham Park. Certainly expecting a good quality final for the Country Championships 2018.
Yeah, streamed through Bar TV Sports on Facebook Live. We hope you're watching the Under-23s Country Championships And here we go. Cleve McGee breaks straight through. He's got pace for a big back rower. Brought down. Great tackle there. Was the number 9, Joe Besgrove, I believe.
Had a man on his outside. Couldn't get the ball away. They've got numbers left-hand side.
They go back on the inside to McQueen, the captain, who I don't think he was expecting the football, but nonetheless is brought down just over the halfway line, but early in the tackle count, 2 to be exact. And here is Luke Skidmore taking it up for the Colts.
Monaro, good field position here. Can they capitalise on this opportunity? They get a penalty.
Well, that'll definitely help things here for the Colts.
First penalty of the afternoon for the Colts.
Now, we've seen a lot of penalties taken by Derek Kay, a lot of conversion attempts. He won't do it on this occasion, but he does have a good boot. He kicked 5 from 9 last week in Goulburn, but was flawless with the boot 2 weeks prior against the Riverina Bulls. 9 from 9 to be exact. But here you go, the Colts on the attack.
Great run there.
You'll find it was Skidmore off the tap restart. It was. He's the 22 in Brebner. 2 defenders taking him down.
Numbers to the right.
They come the left hand instead. It's a dummy from Patch. And he's been held up almost over the line, but he'll play it short of the goal line of Roha Tui now by in a dummy half. A nice pass falling to ground. But it is Madden just looking to settle things in front of the uprights here. Surveying the options, Patch looking left and right. Comes to the left. Hay, crossfield kick. Here comes Shepardson. Scored the last try in their game last week. And he gets on the score sheet here early. Kyle Shepardson opening points for the Colts.
That was a beautiful try. Kyle Shepardson, the Marimbula Pambula Bulldogs winger, gets over for the opening try of the afternoon. And that was beautiful work there from the winger. But that kick across field, as we can see on the replay, was centimetre perfect to steal a line. Shepardson, all he had to do was catch it and score in the corner, and that's exactly what he did. Monaro, the perfect start, 4-0, kick to come.
Well, pinpoint, you see Liam Anderson, maybe they saw him come up off his wing, and that led to the kick from Hay. And like you said, Shepardson, a field of space to get up, get the ball, and put it down. 4 points to nil early.
I tell you what, if you're a winger and you got delivery like that every Sunday afternoon, you'd be more than happy with lacing the boots up.
Yeah, well, he had to work hard for his try last week, a near 70-metre effort from dummy half. But here is the halfback, Derek Hay from the Queen Being Kangaroos, and was a bit inaccurate with the boot last week, but a lot of tough conversions out on the touchline, so this much the same. But no doubt he would have worked on his goal kicking during the week.
No doubt he'd be working on that with a country championship title on the line. You'd want to make sure that all aspects of your game are correct. And 9 minutes gone, he'll be looking to make it the perfect start for the Southern Pool winners, Monaro.
The 22 metres out on that touchline. And
well,
boy,
like missing.
He did work on the goal kicking during the week. He slotted that from the sideline. 6 points to nil. The Colts over the Rivers. Great start to this contest.
And that kick was absolutely gun barrel straight. Never looked like missing from Derek Hay. The Queanbeyan Kangaroos halfback, 1 from 1 today. He'll be looking to add to his tally during the afternoon.
Straight down the hated a little, as some would say, as we get back underway through the boot of Sam Grant. And we've seen the forwards of the Colts just, well, last week they were sitting on the back fence, but this week a bit of a deeper in goal. No doubt they'll still want to run with the same intensity here in this final. But so important after points, getting that set, completing it. I look to do that here. Just some one-up stuff here from the Colts as they get to within the 40-metre line. Now some passing out to the left-hand side. I believe you'll find that's Cleve McGee in jersey 12. In fact, no, it's big Tavita Roha Tui now by. Can't mistake him there with the big, the yellow boots rather. Skidmore gets up over halfway. So a good set here from the Colts. No pressure on the kicker in Cornish. Crossfield. Hard to take. It's taken there by Follant, but he's going to be dragged back. Try to get some help from his compatriot there, but some great defence, great set after point from the Colts, and they've forced the line drop out here for the Northern Rivers.
That is an excellent set from Monaro. That kick from Cornish was excellent. The winger didn't know anything about that. I think that was, Duane on this left-hand side for Northern Rivers, but he didn't know anything about it. Folland came across to lend a hand, and he was going to be barreled into the in-goal, forcing the line drop out. Monaro with all the pressure, as we can see on the replay here. That kick, in fact, it wasn't... it was Folland.
The opposite winger, Liam Anderson.
I didn't think it was Duane, but Monaro on the attack here. They're up by 6, looking to add to their collection.
And with the kick-off specialist, Chris Hart, self-dubbed, they come to the left-hand side towards the centre of the ground. A lot of Northern Rivers players required to take the forwards down here of the Monaro Colts. Nice short ball. Cleve McGee, it's going to be ruled forward. I thought it looked a bit too easy. He scored a similar try last week, did Cleve McGee, but the referee picking up a forward pass from the halfback, Derek Hay.
It looked like he'd strolled through the defensive line, but the way they stopped, you knew straight away that one was forward, and McGee not getting his name on the score sheet just yet from the Woden Rams. And Northern Rivers are relieving scrum feed for them, 10 out from their own line on the eastern side of the field.
12.5 gone, 6 points nil to score. As the Northern Rivers working away from their own end, but some good defence out here on the right-hand edge from Thomas and Hart, working together. As the Rivers look to work it here with Caleb Zeeble. Some hard running, but equally as hard defence from the Colts.
A couple of big units here for Northern Rivers. If they can get some momentum up, they'll prove to be a handful, as we see Besgrove from Wollumbar make a good run.
Well, they did exactly that against North Coast last week, as Grant puts a kick down, but it's taken safely at the back here from Ryan McQueen.
It was well taken by McQueen, the fullback. Lightning hoping for a good afternoon at the office.
And here is Aroha Tui now by. He'll carry these blokes. They started pushing him back. I don't think I've seen that from any team so far in this country championship. So great defence there from Northern Rivers, but a quick play the ball results in an extra 10 metres on the following play and a penalty. So trying again for that quick play the ball and not getting up quick enough with the Northern Rivers. So the Colts are going to try and find touch, try and get as many metres as they can and go back on the attack.
Northern Rivers, every time they seem to get any sort of momentum or territory, possession in their favour, they seem to make an error which Monaro takes full advantage of, and the Colts 25 metres out on the attack. Good opportunity here for them to add more points through Skidmore this time.
It'll be brought down by the middlemen of the Northern Rivers. They've got the numbers stacked to this short side on the left, but they opt to go to the right. That's the 22, Brebner. Loving the opportunity to be out there in the starting side. Back on the inside, Skidmore, and, well, good tackle, and he...
A little bit of afters here.
Yeah, he went on with the tackle. It was Zeeble.
Skidmore's slow to get up. I don't think there's anything... I don't think there's an issue there with Skidmore. I think he was more frustrated with himself, but a little bit of afters there from the Northern Rivers boys.
And keep your eye on Skidmore. He's had some injury concerns throughout the championships. Went off early in a game, and they had to get Leapai on early. So let's hope that Skidmore is okay. Making a tackle there, so he seems to be okay. As Northern Rivers trying to make the most of the 20-metre tap gifted to them by the Monaro Colts.
Northern Rivers attacking down this left-hand side.
Yeah, right by us here.
Good run there from, I think that was Riches.
Reese Riches, and now here is Zeeble. Came up with a good tackle to force Skidmore to lose possession of the ball. As they come to the right-hand side, a bit of a shocking pass. Follett looking to clean it up.
Horrible pass there. Northern Rivers will need to make sure they complete their sets. Until you Leapai about to go on for Monaro, so maybe Skidmore not at 100% as he makes that tackle just on halfway.
I heard the shout out from the Monaro bench, wanting Skidmore to come off, and Leopai will come on. Here's the kick from Robinson, but safely taken once again by Ryan McQueen. So safe at the back.
Thought they'd found open space there, Northern Rivers, but not to be. McQueen got across easily to cover that.
Looking for the penalty, and they'll be given it. Just a bit too slow there in the ruck, the Northern Rivers. Cornish putting his hands up in the air as we see Luke Skidmore, in fact, come off to have that break.
3-1, I've got the penalty count in favour of Monaro in the opening half.
And penalties in important places in the field. One on halfway, and that one to get them out of trouble there. So the tap taken on the 40 by Chris Hart, and here is Leopai, the man coming off the bench, and he's just as impactful starting as he was coming off the field. And here comes the 22, Connor Brebner.
He's looked willing early on, Brebner.
Yeah, relishing in this starting role. Patch for Hay, Tony McGee on the inside. In fact, that's the 8, Kai Madden.
Monaro really seem to have their combinations in order today.
The left-hand side, they come Hay dummying, and they know that both of those men are threats. They come back to the left-hand side short. McGee puts in a grubber kick, chased there by Shepherdson, and it's going to have to be Follen taking it dead. Another line dropout here for Northern Rivers.
They've been under all sorts of pressure, Northern Rivers, early on. They're certainly dominating the Monaro Colts, and they look like they're going to score in the opening stages, put a big score on Northern Rivers here. It's up to the green and golds to find a way back into this game. When they've been in attacking areas, they've looked good, but they just need to hold on here in defence, try and force an error out of Monaro as they drop out from the southern end of Harvey Shepherd Field. Not the longest dropout ever at 40 metres.
Here comes Leopai for his second carry early on. The Rivers, that they are taking on the champions, the Monaro Colts from last year, so wanting to dethrone them. It's going to be a tough task here. They are trailing 6 points to 0 as Patch comes out to the right-hand side, and now it comes to Cornish and Nukangiri. Good defence there. It was the 6, Sam Grant around the legs.
Great
Patch
tackle.
Now to the centre, and again, good defence from the Northern Rivers. He'll be taken in goal, so I believe we'll find it is a 20-metre tap here for the Northern Rivers.
And that's exactly what we were talking about. Northern Rivers had to number up in defence, make sure they got their opportunities, and hold on in that defensive set. And that was good work on the right-hand side for Monaro, but the defensive effort from the Northern Rivers boys on that left edge was very good, seeing them over the sideline and out.
So Northern Rivers working away for their own end, perhaps looking for a penalty. The Monaro Colts have gotten a few to help them get out of their own end, or are they going to rely on the forward running perhaps of the 13, Cole Kennedy? Just up over halfway as they go through the hands now. And again, good defence from the Colts.
Finding plenty of space on that left-hand side, Northern Rivers. Surely that'd be a penalty. I was waiting for the whistle there. Didn't come.
And there's Zeeble again. Like you said, they're finding good space out the left-hand side. That's the way they come again. Monaro up and in defensively. Could lead to their downfall. Last tackle. Out it comes through the hands once again. They've got the numbers on the left-hand side. Tavita Aroha Tui now by raced up, made the tackle there. I think you'll find it's Ben O'Gorman out there on the right edge. In fact, no, it is Reece Riches, the opposite centre.
That was a big tackle there from Tavita to shut that play down. Northern Rivers looking very sharp on the attack, but Tavita making that tackle. That was a big effort there from the centre on his opposite, as Monaro brings it out of their own quarter up towards the 30 now.
And boy, how would you like to be tackled by Aroha Tui now by one?
No thanks. It hurts from here in the commentary box. I have no interest at all.
Play the ball. And yeah, they were asking for the... Well, in fact, it's an incorrect play the ball. Didn't get a foot to it. So, a penalty here for Northern Rivers.
This might be the start they need. They'll get field position inside the 30 here. They'll certainly look to really capitalise on this opportunity that they have. 30 metres out, they'll start the set on the eastern side of the ground. They need to take advantage of this.
I don't think they need to rush, though. They need to build pressure. Obviously, if you can score a try, go for it. But don't rush into things and try and force the pass or force the kick.
No, certainly not. But they need to, when these opportunities arise, as we spoke about in the league tag final, when you get these opportunities, you need to make the most of them. And they need to do that right now. They're on the attack. That's a great run from Zeeble towards the 10, carrying 2 and 3.
He has definitely been willing. Has Zeeble quick play the ball. I think that's Campbell who's made his way out onto the field. Round the back they come, and it's the winger in the corner. Has he got it down?
Oh, don't tell me. Don't tell me.
He got spun around like a Beyblade. Throwback to the 2000s, but it's the winger. I believe you'll find it's Liam Anderson who's got it down in that left-hand corner. I'd love to see this on the replay.
Oh, this is going to be an incredible replay. 6-4 the scoreline. I still don't know how he got that down. That was an incredible piece of play. They structured it nicely. Here's the replay. Great ball there from Grant. Through the hands. I think Folland kept it alive. How did he stay in the touchline? I don't know, but Anderson got it down, and it's the opening try for Northern Rivers. That was incredible play from the number 5.
Unbelievable. Almost got his head taken off in the process. If you weren't watching the under-16s, there was a bloke in the Penrith Panthers side by the name of Sadeh Sublaban, known for his 360s, but he was literally spun around there, the winger, Liam Anderson.
That was an incredible piece of play there. 6-4 the scoreline now. The conversion attempt from hard up against the touchline to level the scores.
And it will be Sam Grant to take this conversion attempt, and like you said, hugging the touchline closest to us, so difficult chances at goal here.
I think this is one of the toughest kicks on the football field, about 23 metres out, only 2 blades in on the western side.
But it is a kick that they do practice at training, so lots of hours going into kicks like this for a moment like this in the country. Well,
that's like my 6-iron.
Straight away to the left.
Yeah, it starts left and keeps going.
It is 6 points to 4. We've got 16 and 3/4 minutes here in this first half. But I've liked what I've seen from both sides. Rivers looking really good down this left-hand edge, and likewise for the Monaro Colts.
Yeah, I agree. Monaro looking very strong, especially with Tavita down that left edge. He looks like a real handful, but Northern Rivers, they have shown a couple of times they like attacking that right edge for their attack, but scoring on that in that left corner, that was an excellent try. This is shaping up to be a really good final as we see an error from Northern Rivers on the third play.
Well, that could be the difference between these two sides. The Colts, they had a good set after points, and the Northern Rivers, unfortunately, just coming up with the error there. Not what they needed deep inside their own half.
Certainly not what Northern Rivers and the coaching staff, Max Beecher and Nigel Lofts, would have been looking for. Now they just need to complete the setting defence, try and keep Monaro out and keep the margin at 2 points as we tick towards 15 to go in the first half.
Well, I dare say you spoke about the attacking rate down the left. That's the side they come. And here is a Rohat Tui now vibe, but well stopped there by the Northern Rivers defence. 3 men to bring him down. So they've made that a point early on. To the right they come, and here is Greenwood who's on the field.
I think they've got numbers to the right here, Monaro.
That's the side they come. Cornish back on the inside. Here's Madden trying to bust his way over. But again, good defence, upper body strength, keeping him away from the goal line. Patch going short. Leopai, he's got a try. No. I was going to say a try in his last 2 games. One coming off, well, both of them coming off the bench rather. Thought he had his 3rd for the competition, but he's been held up short. Great resolve there shown by Northern Rivers.
Great defence there from Northern Rivers, but it's not over with just yet.
Definitely not. Out to the left-hand side. McQueen.
Trouble.
Good pass. Shepherdson looking for a double.
No,
it's going to be ruled forward. And that's the second time they've come down that left-hand side and a forward pass has been thrown there.
That's certainly not what Monaro were looking for. Shepherdson was away. They had the play out wide, but he just couldn't hold the pass back enough. Northern Rivers hold on, as we said, they needed to complete that set in defence. They only just did it, but they did it nonetheless, and they'll get the scrum feed 10 out.
We definitely didn't see a low-scoring affair between these two teams, but it has been entertaining nonetheless as Northern Rivers with this possession, again trying to work it out from their own end, and the Colts trying to keep them down here. So here you'll find, I think it is Kyle Kennedy, taking it up just short of the 40-metre line, looking for a penalty. They're not going to get it. Here's Zeeble, very impressive. Good offload. Probably been best on ground so far in terms of the Northern Rivers players.
Be very close. He's been very good so far.
Here goes Kennedy again, second hit up.
He'd probably be the other one who'd be in contention. Out of dummy half, a little scoop there on the last. Gets it away. Folland with the kick. Finds a bit of open space for a change.
And a nice cutout pass there, or a long pass, Harbour Bridge if you like. Goes to Cole Shepherdson and brought down.
The lone player, or in fact, two players from the Group 16 competition. Shepherdson from the Marimbula Pambula Bulldogs, and also Luke Ingram from the Bombala Blue Healers.
Yeah, and he's been really good off the bench for this Monaro Colts side. Everyone is an integral part for both sides in this competition, in this final. 6 points to 4 so far in the under-23s Country Championships final, as we see the number 8 Kai Madden take it to within 30 of the of the Northern Rivers line. Last tackle, cross-field kick from Hay. It is, and great under the high ball. How on earth did he manage to grab that, Shepherdson, and then the just ability to offload that to Tavita Aroha Tui now by the Monaro Colts? They do it again.
That was brilliant from Shepherdson, the Bulldogs winger in the Monaro Colts colours today, but that was outstanding from Cole Shepherdson. He, as we see on the replay here, the kick from Derek Hay was outstanding. Shepherdson over the top, steals it, the little flick out the back, and Tavita was there, just dots it down in the corner. Monaro's up 10-4 with a kick to come.
Well, there's nothing that Anderson could have done about that. Absolutely nothing. It was sensational play. And they did it last week. They scored 2 tries in the second half to start the second half red hot against their opponents, the Illawarra South Coast Dragons. And they've done it again. Another cross-field raid by Derek Hay and Shepherdson. I still don't know how he got rid of that football.
No, that was an excellent piece of play there from Shepherdson. Somehow got the miracle ball out the back. And Tavita Aroha Tunavai got it down for the try. Now the conversion attempt from out wide on that left-hand side for Monaro. Derek Hay, 1 from 1 this afternoon. Another tough kick. About 25 metres out against that eastern touchline. You can see the Camden Rams clubhouse, the host club today here at Harvey Shepherd Field. That famous old clubhouse in the background. Make it an 8-point lead. More than one converted try. It's a good-looking strike, but away.
And just like my paper blowing off the table just then, the wind blowing the ball away to the right-hand side, unsuccessful. But again, it's the left-hand side. Again, it's these players, Hay and Shepherdson, having a phenomenal game thus far.
They have been very good. Derek Hay's been very impressive. Cornish, the 5'8", also been very good for the Monaro Colts as they restart play now up to the quarter.
The thing that was important in their last set where they scored, again, it's completing the set after points. Northern Rivers unsuccessful in doing so. The Monaro Colts, the second time they've scored points in this game. They're looking to do that. As they come, I think that's the 14. You'll find Dane Spencer from the Woden Rams taking that hit up 40 metres out. Now here's McGee using his light footwork, and the referee has called the Northern Rivers side offside, and Derek Hay will look for touch.
So fourth penalty of the day for Monaro, 4-2 the count at present. And the most important stat is Monaro leading at 10 points to 4, as you can see. Kick for touch finds the line about 25 metres out from the Northern Rivers line. There's McGee. He's been very good for Monaro today to within 12 metres.
We have 9.5 remaining. What are the Colts going to do with it? The football on this occasion as Leopold is taken. 8 short, looking for another penalty. Patch, Cornish, out the back. McQueen turns it on the inside. They look for another offload. Greenwood looking to offload the football again, but wrapped up. It was Thomas coming across field. They come back the right-hand side. Cornish with the cutout pass to Thomas. He's going to be held up over the line. Good defence on that occasion for the Northern Rivers.
Good scramble there from Northern Rivers. They needed to scramble across to the right-hand side of the Monaro attack, and they did that just in time. But the threat not averted just yet. Monaro still on the attack, 10 metres out.
And it was the defence there of Anthony Coleman, the skipper, leading from the front by example, trying to make his team hold on here. We have the last tackle. Patch goes to the half-back. He puts a grubber kick in. I think we're going to have a penalty. Yes, we are. It's
inside the 10.
High. Oh, I thought it was a high tackle there on Liam Anderson.
Inside the 10 there.
So I think you'll find that try for the Northern Rivers was in fact Michael Duane. So Liam Anderson out there on the opposite wing. Nonetheless, the Northern Rivers getting a penalty and trying to muster something up here. That's a good run there. I think you'll find that's Luke Campbell who's made his way onto the field. Well, you can't miss this guy, the number 8, Zeeble.
Certainly among the better players for Northern Rivers today. He's a big man too.
Yeah, and going to play a lot of minutes. He is Prats from Casino, up over the halfway stripe. And they come the left-hand side. And again, good defence there from the 5'8". And you can hear the physicality. The tackle not completed, though, by Nukin Geary as he comes towards the middle of the field, and it's the captain, Coleman, again. Just short of the 30-metre line. So what can the Rivers do? They put a midfield bomb up. It's the winger, Shepherdson, underneath it, and he takes it comfortably. Although he's been dragged back towards his own in-goal, they'll play it about 5 metres out from their own line.
Looks like another interchange being made. Luke Ingram, a lone Bombala representative. We have a one-on-one steal.
Well,
Ingram
we don't
about
see
to
that.
Come on for Monaro, but Northern Rivers on the attack.
We don't see that every day. A nice cut-out pass.
And they're
not
in.
Ruled forward. And it's Ben O'Gorman from Cudgeon. Yeah. Well, you talk about the left-hand side for the Monaro Colts. The left-hand side for Northern Rivers, just as impressive.
And Monaro won't be saying O'Gorman. They'll be saying, oh dear, what happened there? Communication breakdown on the right-hand side for Monaro. As we see on the replay, it all started from that one-on-one strip. That was Caleb Zeeble making the strip. And then on the next play, they spun it to the left-hand side. And O'Gorman, far too easy for him. A diving effort there from Cornish in vain. And O'Gorman gets over to make it 10-8 with a kick to come from wide.
And a great play to notice that they were short out here on the left-hand side there by Michael Duane. Got the pass to the man that needed the ball there in Sam Grant. And a great cut-out pass to finish there in the corner, Ben O'Gorman. And it's a try they needed in a seesaw affair. You felt like the pendulum was swinging in the Monaro Colts' favour, but Northern Rivers coming back.
Northern Rivers have been good when they've had the opportunity. They've certainly looked sharp in attack. When they've been able to get to the right end of the field and put some plays together, they've looked very sharp. Monaro have had the majority of the possession and the territory. I don't know what the numbers are, but they've dominated that area. But when Northern Rivers get into the right end of the field, they certainly have the firepower and the potential to score some points, and they've looked very good down that left edge when they've done it.
So Sam Grant with the try assist.
And that kick is
just short. I was going to
away.
say a much improved shot at goal, but just falling short, unfortunately, there. I will take this moment to thank our sponsors, our major sponsor, SLE Worldwide Australia, Bar TV Sports, allowing us to live stream for you to watch through Facebook Live, and Victor Sports, another one of our sponsors, all important here in the country championships for all 3 age groups, and of course the ladies league tag. You saw the final, the Central Coast Roosters 22 points to 4, winners of the GSR West Tigers, and it was the number 6 Sarah Dymick who was the player's player in that final, as
yes,
the Chris Hart kickoff specialist sending it up high. Kyle felt like there with that one. And the Northern Rivers, what can they do after scoring points? They need to complete this set here, and they're going to get a penalty.
There's the piggyback penalty out of danger for all the penalty count at the moment. That was exactly what Northern Rivers were looking for. They wanted to, I was going to say they need to complete this set, get to a good kick. They'll do better than that. A penalty on the first tackle, and they'll start a new set 40 metres out from their own line.
And James Robertson, Mike Sheen, the under-23s. Country Championships final between the Monaro Colts and the Northern Rivers. 10 points to 8 the scoreline. The defending champions at the front at this present time, but the Northern Rivers, they're coming to the left-hand side and they are coming hard. It's the 5'8", Sam Grant, who seems to be in everything at the moment.
He looked really sharp making that run. That was an excellent play from Grant as they come down the left-hand side.
Yeah, Fulham with a short ball, and it was the 11, Anthony Coleman. So the captain on that left-hand side, no wonder they're coming down that side. It's so dangerous. But they come to the right-hand side on this occasion and brought down their good defence by the halfback, Derek Hay. It's the last play. Looking for a complete set. A grubber into the in-goal. Some pressure there on McQueen. And they're going to rule it's come off the Monaro Colts fullback, and it's going to be a line dropout.
Yes, I think they've got that one right. Referee Joe Butler right on the spot there as we saw. And just watching that live, I thought he'd got that. There was just a touch off McQueen there, and that's exactly what Joey Butler ruled. So Monaro having to drop out from under their posts.
And we saw it for the Roosters in the Ladies League Tag, short kicking game. The grubbers into the in-goal worked, and it was worked there for Tane Robinson as we hear the physicality come through the microphones there. Greenwood in amongst the defenders. And here come the Northern Rivers with Pratt. 15 metres out. Looking to score points to hit the front. A show and go, and now it's the fullback Follen.
He's been very busy today, ball out the back.
Loose ball, but they're going to keep possession.
Follen's been very busy from fullback today. I haven't seen a fullback as involved as him in a long time, as we see good second phase ball for Pratt.
Oh, in comes Nukin Geary, making sure that tackle was complete on Pratt. Back out to that dangerous left-hand side of ricocheted off the player. And what about the pass, the put down? Michael Duane in for a double. Touched by the Monaro Colts player. I can't see, we might see in the replay who it was, but a great pick-up and cut-out pass there. Once again, Sam Grant finds a player on this left-hand edge for the Northern Rivers.
If Northern Rivers are any chance this afternoon as we see the replay, Sam Grant has to be involved in everything. We see him there, the little grubber kick, rebounds back to him, he shovels it out, and Duane in the corner gets a double. Northern Rivers lead at 12-10 with a kick to come. 3 tries to 2. Goal kicking has been an issue for Northern Rivers today. Can Grant get one?
And I think you'll find it was off the feet of the opposite 5'8", Nicholas Cornish, who just stuck a foot out. It ricocheted off, but a great pick-up and great use of the ball there from Sam Grant to get it out wide.
That's what I was about to say. The pick-up from Grant was excellent to be able to pick that up cleanly and then shovel the ball out to Duane on the wing, who didn't have a saloon passage to the line. He had still some work to do to get over the stripe, but he got there. And now Northern Rivers, they're up by 2 with a kick to come. Only a couple of minutes remaining in the first half.
Yeah, 30 seconds in fact, and well, I say this every broadcast, I have not yet, in this country championships in all 3 age groups and the Ladies League Tag, have not yet seen a live hat-trick. Can Michael Duane be our man to get over the stripe for the 3rd time?
Looks like Robinson taking over the goal-kicking duties.
Yep, from Tweed Coast. A left foot kicker. Looks to
Nice
be a pretty good strike.
It's an excellent strike. There's the siren for half-time.
And on the stroke of half-time, an extra 2 points for the Northern Rivers. They take the lead at half-time, 14 points to 10. The try scorer is Michael Duane, as we alluded to. He's got a try-double, and Ben O'Gorman, the other try scorer for Northern Rivers. 0 from 2 from the 5'8" Sam Grant. Tane Robinson taking the shot there and successful in his first attempt. Cole Shepardson and Tavita Rojas, who we now buy the try scorers for Monaro. 1 from 2 from Derek Hay, 14 points to 10.
Been a very good first half of rugby league. Northern Rivers deservedly in front. Monaro had the majority of possession and territory, but just not able to capitalise when they do have those few chances.
And what do you think both coaches are going to be looking for in this half-time break? What will they be addressing to the players?
Ash Barnes, the Monaro coach, he'd be very happy with what he's seen in the opening 40 minutes. He'd be very happy with what he's seen from his side, and I think he'd just want more of the same. If they can repeat that in the second half, they've shown they're good enough to get over the line and to do the job they need to do. Northern Rivers need to capitalise on their opportunities when they do get them, and that left-hand side, Grant, Fadwane, O'Gorman on this left edge, they've been very dangerous for Northern Rivers. I think they need to keep going to that left-hand side. We've talked about Zeeble laying the platform up front.
Coleman as well, the skipper.
Yes, Coleman's been very good. Pratt's been good off the bench as well. I think they need to keep that momentum going through the forwards. Monaro, they'll look to their outside backs. Hay and Cornish have been excellent. Cleve McGee's been very good in the second row. Skidmore and Madden up front have been solid. But McQueen coming off the back of Hart and Cornish. We've talked about Tavita and Shepherdson as well. That's the real area they need to work on.
Well, a game of two halves is rugby league. A fantastic 40 minutes from both of these two sides, but who is going to come out on top in the under-23s country championship final between the Monaro Colts and the Northern Rivers? Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly with the second half.
Has it? It's gone off. It's a brand new cable. Well, just sometimes because they're not being zoomed, I'll just move it a bit.
About to resume proceedings here. 14 points to 10, the Northern Rivers against the Monaro Colts in the Under-23s Country Championships final. James Robertson alongside Mike Sheen here, calling the final here live from Kirkham Park. So what can both these teams offer up? We had a fantastic 40 minutes in the first half. Can both teams back it up, and more importantly, can the Colts score the one try deficit that they need to win this competition?
I certainly think they can. They've certainly got the firepower and the potential to do it. Whether they can deliver in the next 40 minutes, I'm not quite sure. Northern Rivers have been very impressive in the opening half, and they've earned that 4-point lead. Make no mistake, they've certainly been a good team in the first half. Can they continue that for another 40 minutes? Monaro, we know the talent they've got on their side of the field, as we see half a break here from the halfback Robinson. He hasn't really done much in the first half, but we'll be looking to see whether he can deliver more for the Northern Rivers boys in the second.
Well, showing us some light footwork there was Robertson. Here's the kick towards that left-hand side. Looks like it was going dead, but there it is.
I heard the call in the background.
The 3 tries for Michael Duane, the crossfield kick, Sam Grant, and Michael Duane, he's going to have a word with Sam Grant after this game. Fantastic service.
I think he owes him a lemonade after that. 3 tries to Michael Duane, the winger. And we'll see it on the replay here. The kick was exquisite there, weighted over the top to perfection. The winger didn't know anything about it. Duane sliding through like a thief in the night, forced it inside the in goal and got it down. And these 3 to Duane, they lead at 18-10.
And really unbelievable stuff, because there was nothing doing on that left-hand side. It looked like the defence was stacked to the Monaro Colts, but a chip kick over the top. And like you said, Chris Hart, he didn't know what was going on, like in the first half with a try to the Monaro Colts. I think it was Kyle Shepardson. And I'm happy. I'm very happy that we have a hat-trick try scorer, a triple for Michael Duane.
And in the final, no less, to score a triple in the final of the country titles. That will take his team a long way to getting the trophy in their hands and taking it back up the Pacific Highway this afternoon.
But there is still a lot of work to do, and I believe you'll find that Tane Robinson has still got the kicking boots on. He'll be taking the reins from Sam Grant for this conversion attempt, hugging that touchline once again.
He's got it.
2 from 2. They found the goal kicker they needed for this country championships finals. Robertson converts. The Northern Rivers, they extend their lead.
They do. It's now 20 points to 10. That was a beautiful kick from Tane Robinson. He's been good too in about 3 minutes for him as Monaro gets back underway. They just need a little bit of time and possession with the football. That's been their biggest problem. The 3 or 4 minutes before half-time, they haven't had much of the possession. If they can get some of it back their way, they're every chance of getting back into this game. A long way from over.
Well, the most important thing has been the set after points. We've alluded to it time and time again. The Northern Rivers cannot afford to cough up possession right here as they look to go to Zeeble once again, leading this forward pack around very well. Here's the kick early in the tackle count. And it comes down towards Chris Hart. And he takes the tackle there, just outside the 20 metres. Here goes Aroha Tui now, boy.
That's what they need, Monaro. Some more of Tavita's magic. Doesn't get the penalty. Thought he'd get it there as we see Monaro over the halfway. Good run there, Cleve McGee.
McGee to play it. Comes away for Hay, and now the halves combining now for Ngiri. And here is Thomas, the West Belconnen Warriors Junior. Cornish finds himself a dummy half and finds Ingram. First time seeing him in the second half. Has been an impact specialist for the Colts side. Here comes the short grubber kick there from Cornish. It comes up.
And it'll be a try to Monaro.
Well, talk about right place, right time. Tyson Greenwood couldn't have done it any better. He just found the ball fall into his lap and he goes underneath the uprights, improves the spot for Sam Hay. Derek Hay, rather. Sam Hay, what am I thinking? The
I
Queen
don't
Bee and
know.
Kangaroos halfback, Derek Hay. He'll convert from in front, but look at this. Just an unfortunate error,
Into
but
his lap.
Greenwood, he picked it up and, well, he finds the in goal and puts it down.
That might be the spark that Monaro's been looking for. That might be what gets them going in this second half. 20 points to 14 now. And with a kick from in front, you'd expect it'll be 20-16. And Monaro well and truly back in this game. As I said, they just need a little bit of momentum and possession and territory as well. And that's what they've got. And they now trail by only 4 with the kick to come.
Well, 2 weeks ago in Wagga Wagga, we had the battle of the black headgears between Derek Hay and Sam Elwyn. That's where I would have got Sam Hay from, the two halfbacks coming together here, but there rather in Wagga Wagga. But here it is Derek Hay with a conversion from right in front, and he should slot that over, and he does. 20 points to 16, only 4 points of difference now.
Yes, this is going to be a high-quality final. Stay with us for the next 35 minutes here on Bar TV Sports, the Country Championship final for 2018. This is going to be a good one.
And we can't thank them enough for allowing to stream through Bar TV and Facebook, allowing everyone to catch a glimpse of this wonderful competition and the display of skill we've seen from all teams across all 3 age groups. The Ladies League tag as well has been sensational. But we're here with the under-23s final at the present time. 4 points of difference. The Colts trail by 4, and they need to find something to take the lead once again. I think you'll find underneath the defenders there that is Ingram. They spread and they go here for that'll be McGee. In the 12 jumper on that left-hand side. Here's Aroha Tui now, Vi. What an engine he's got for a big fella. He gets the nice quick play the ball away. They come up through the middle. Important set once again after points, and the high spiralling kick hanging high in the sky of Camden. But it's taken well there by the Northern Rivers. Not a lot of pressure there on the kick, and they'll work it away once again from their own end.
Liam Robinson had to camp under that one, did well to take that with Monaro players charging through on top of him late, but did well to take that as Northern Rivers 35 out from their own line up to the 40 now. Good defence from Monaro. They need to get some solid defence in this set.
Yeah, the interchange players Ingram and Leapai coming together there, and here's the captain Coleman out there on that left edge for Northern Rivers, and Zeeble looking for that offload, but bouncing out of the tackle was Leapai. Another quick play the ball. They're playing very fast here, the Northern Rivers outfit, taken well there by the number 5, Chris Hart, and Goulburn Workers. And just looking to get back behind the play the ball. They look a bit fatigued out here. The sun is hot from where we're sitting, and no doubt it's hot there at playing level.
Certainly is a warm afternoon here in the MacArthur. A perfect day, as you can see, for rugby league.
Not a cloud in the sky at all.
And a fast track for rugby league, but a perfect day. A little on the warm side. Temperature in the low 20s at the moment, and it's an ideal afternoon for rugby league. These two teams putting on a spectacle, as you can see.
Great to watch, great to play, great to call. Here's the kick from Cornish, taken well there by Jacob Follen. What's he going to do here with the ball? He just goes towards that left-hand side and consolidates 12 metres out from his own line. The outside backs have been busy working hard for the forwards here. They've scored tries, but guys like Duane and Gorman, they're taking the ball well from their own end, helping out those tired forwards. They come to the short side, and again the captain Coleman. Short side again they come, and look very flat there from the fullback.
That was very marginal from Northern Rivers there. Referee Butler letting that one go as we see the kick now on the last.
And a high hanging kick, some pressure here for the fullback McQueenie. Opts to go left with a long pass, perhaps bounce on the ground.
Chance.
Here goes the number 2 Cole Shepherdson, and he gets 25 metres. He eats them up, and Here comes the Roha Tuinabai.
Good run there from Tavita on the back of that run from Shepardson. McQueen did well to take that under his own goalpost, as we saw. And now Monaro up towards halfway, bouncing out of tackles. Here's a good chance for the Colts. Can they bounce back and level the scores?
Yeah, nice run there from Cornish. But the Northern Rivers side getting on side, and here's the 23, Noah Venisi from the Tuggeranong Bush Rangers, and a nice short ball there for McGee. Tried to get the offload there to the fullback in McQueen, but they'll get the penalty, and a penalty that they'll need to reset the tackle count.
That's certainly what Monaro's been looking for. First penalty of the second half goes their way, and they'll kick for touch on this western side of the field. Only 10 metres out. Great opportunity for Monaro to put points on the board. They need to make sure they take full advantage. There's Tavita off the tap. 4 of them there to stop him.
He almost needed a 5th one there to stop Big Tavita, but he is brought down short of the goal line. Patch looking to go himself. Turns the number 12 on the inside. And it is Cleve McGee. And I think he's got it down.
Wow.
Cleve McGee. Well, he showed some flashy footwork last week in Goulburn, but that just a good old-fashioned barge over from the left-hand side back rower. And we're level score here at the moment, 20 points apiece.
I don't know how Cleve McGee got through that defensive line, because he had no right to get through. As we see on the replay, there was the run from Tavita, first up from the tap. And the quick play the ball, you can see McGee hunched over on the left-hand side, the number 12 there. He'll get it back on the inside. There was 2 and 3 of them there. Somehow, and I don't know how, somehow Big Cleve got the Cleavers down and over the stripe for 4 points, and we're level in the country championship final.
Well, I think you can put it down there to the great dummy half work from Zach Patch, looking to the right-hand side, making the Northern Rivers defence think, well, he's going to go out to this side, but then coming back to the left, turning, putting him against the grain. Great play there from Zach Patch, and a great try nonetheless, a barge over there from Cleve McGee to get this level.
McGee didn't have it all his own way. That was nicely sold by Patch, as you say. The Queanbeyan Blues, number 9, sold it beautifully. But McGee had a lot of work to do there to get over the line.
There were 4 defenders there.
Yeah, he had plenty of work to do to get over the line, and that was not a gimme for him. But so he did very well to get that over the line. Now Derek Hay to see if he can put Monaro in front.
Well, at the moment, the goal kicking is even, but this is the extra attempt Derek Hay has had. Can he make it successful? Give the Colts a 2-point lead. Contending with the wind. The flags go up, and it's a 2-point lead that the Monaro Colts have over the Northern Rivers in the Under-23s Country Championship final.
It's a cracking final this afternoon here at Harvey Shepherd Field, Kirkham Park, Camden. And a 2-point game. This one's well and truly on the line. Not sure which way it'll end up in the next 25 minutes or so, but it's going to be a cracker whichever way it goes.
Well, after watching Monaro last week and seeing the scoreline in the Northern Rivers Northern Pool final last week, I had this hunch that it was going to be high scoring and very entertaining nonetheless, and that's exactly what we've seen here today.
No, we're getting a very high quality country championship final, as you'd expect. These teams the best in country football in New South Wales, and they have turned on a spectacle here at Harvey Shepherd Field this afternoon. We're not done with the points, I know that much. Who's going to come out on top? I don't know, but I can't wait to find out over the next 25 minutes.
And Cleve McGee wasn't done with there, and a penalty blown. So Monaro getting the favourite of the penalties thus far, and I think doing more with the gifted penalties than their opponents so far, the Northern Rivers.
They certainly seem to be taking full advantage of the penalties when they come their way, but Northern Rivers, they had all the ball in the first couple of minutes of the second half, but Monaro's worked their way back into it nicely as we see Greenwood, the lock forward, take it forward for the Colts. Now to the quarter.
And it is Noah Venisi for the defending champions, the Monaro Colts. Here goes Cornish, short ball to Ingiri. Good defence, and again, a great battle there from the captain of the Northern Rivers side, Anthony Coleman and Nukin Geary. They come back for Ingram towards centre of ground, and he's just 2 metres short, but a quick play, the ball allowed, Patch going himself.
Tried to milk the penalty there, referee Butler not falling for it.
And almost got there in the end. Here's the last. Greenwood finds himself a dummy half. Away for Cornish. Step, footwork, can he get it down? No. Great defence there in the end by the Northern Rivers. And I think you'll find it was Jacob Folland, the fullback. He said he was busy in the first half. Comes up with a try saver there.
That's been one of the highlights of Northern Rivers today, their defence, especially on the goal line. And you mentioned Jacob Folland. He's been excellent. The Morris brothers fullback has been outstanding in the green and gold of Northern Rivers this afternoon. And if they're to take the title back up the motorway, he'll be a large part of how they get the tries they need to take the trophy home.
As we see Northern Rivers using the ball well and getting up to within 40 of their own line. And I believe this will be the 8 again. Zeeble, hard working. Good run there. Here's the kick from Grant on the left-hand side. A lot of work here to do. The ball didn't get a favourable bounce, but it comes now from McQueen. But a great chase there from the Northern Rivers. They finished the tackle 10 metres out. And again, fatigue setting in. I think the Colts players struggling to get back on side as we reach the second tackle.
And that's going to be a factor in the last 20-odd minutes, the fatigue factor for both sides. Who's got the petrol left in the tank? Who's got the tickets to spare? It's been a high-tempo game as well as high quality. There's a good ball back on the inside. I think that's Tavita.
Yeah, Rohart's we now by again. Second run of the set. The outside backs doing what they can to help out the forwards. It comes away, and this will be Venisi again, who's been solid off the bench. Only a few runs, but they've all been with maximum impact. Here comes Hay again, and you'll see Shepherdson screaming through. He won't get the ball, but he'll build some pressure there for the Northern Rivers and deep inside their own end of the field as we go coast to coast.
And that's what Monaro would have been looking for if we can't get points out of this set. Shepherdson was off like a startled rabbit, but he couldn't get there in time. If they can't get the points, let's keep them at their own end. As you can see, 23, 24 metres out from their own line, Northern Rivers working to their left-hand side over the 30 now.
Well, thank goodness both teams, neither of them wearing black on their jerseys. I can feel the heat wearing the black shirt that I am, but no doubt they'll both be very fatigued at the moment. But still a high skill level shown by both teams. There's a little chip and chase over the top, perhaps what they need. Cornish tried to get there. I don't think a knock-on has been ruled there, and it ends up being the skipper, Ryan McQueen from West Belconnen Warriors, who picks it up fortuitously there for the Monaro Colts.
I didn't see the knock-on. Northern Rivers was certainly appealing for it. I thought they might have got the whistle going their way. Thought the bounce might have sat up for them. Heavy hit there. There's a good one. I think that was
Jacob
Hoban
over
the top, and that stung him as well.
Yeah, well, McGee has been damaging on this left-hand side for the Colts, and, well, he's struggling to come to at the moment.
That damaged him.
They're definitely getting some of the magic water in at the moment.
Do we still use magic water these days in the magic sponge?
Oh, I hope so. Here we see Cornish. Another high kick, perhaps a bit too high, safely taken there by the fullback, Jacob Folland. Definitely the easiest take of the afternoon for him as he takes the 20 tap and he tries to find some metres here.
Zero tackle. We haven't had many of those this afternoon in this final. There's Northern Rivers up to the 40 now.
Probably a display of how both teams have played as we see a well-needed penalty there for the Northern Rivers. They've been off the back of not a penalty count in their favour.
It's only 6-5 against them, though, to be fair. It's only 6-5 on our sheet against
evening up now.
It hasn't really blown out either way all afternoon. The penalties, we're talking about it off air at half-time, they've all been warranted. I can't fault Joey Butler for his decisions and his rulings.
Officiating's been really good.
They've all been warranted penalties, so 6-5 the count as we see Northern Rivers on the attack. 25 metres out.
Kyle Kennedy to play it. Now here comes the 10 more physical defence there. Morrissey in amongst the attackers there as we come to the left-hand side.
I think Morrissey's been into that casino beef up on the North Coast. Beef week this week being celebrated.
Left-hand side. And here's Follen. He'd love a try. We've got a hat-trick to Duane. The fullback, for all of his hard work, looking for the line. To be denied there, but they come out wide to the right. They try and get around Araha Tui Nauvai, but he's just too big, too strong. Tried to drag him over the touchline. Unable to do so. Here's the cross-field kick, but well taken there. Dragged into the in-goal. And I think you'll find it'll just be a goal line dropout here for the Monaro Colts. An odd-looking kick, but it worked nonetheless.
It certainly did, and Monaro under a lot of pressure here in the second half. Got a good 15-20 minutes remaining in this country championship final, just under the 20-minute mark to go in this final. Only the 2 points in it. Monaro under pressure at the moment, but they'll be looking to get a good drop out here and a good set in defence to try and lift their spirits in this final.
Well, the kicking specialist Hart is back underway.
Only 30 metres that drop out, 32 metres, so good opportunity, good field position for the Northern Rivers side.
Perhaps not the chase or the angle or whatever he was looking for, but Follen
held on to it.
Somehow they come back out to the left-hand side. He's looking for 4 is Duane, but on that occasion it is Chris Hart who makes the defensive decision to bring him to ground. They come short. Here's Zeeble. He's looking for a try, the big fella, and he's just short. A metre out, a blade of grass in it.
I thought he'd reached out. He didn't.
Robinson. And again, they've broken the tackle. They get there, and it's the number 13, hard-working all day from Marists. It is Kyle Kennedy who gets over, and the lead has changed many times in this game. The Rivers, they fight it back.
They do fight back. They've been looking good here. Northern Rivers, Kyle Kennedy from Marist Brothers crashes over. We see on the replay, I thought he was in trouble there with the front-on tackle, but straight over the top goes Kyle Kennedy and crashes over the line to put Northern Rivers back in front. Kick to come from beside the uprights.
And this time it was Tane Robinson with the cutout pass, just cutting a few players out there for the Monaro Colts, and he still had some work to do, did Kyle Kennedy, but he managed to get the ball over the line, and well, they're going to look to convert this try to put it out to 4 points. It is Robinson who has still got the kicking boots on. He's been 2 from 2 today, so 100% with the boot.
Time starting to become a factor here in this final. 17 and a half minutes to go, as you can see. But both sides, time starting to become a factor, and with such a tight game on the line, every point is so vital, and they'll be looking to make the most of the opportunities when they present themselves.
So Robinson 15 out and not too far out from that right-hand touchline, but the left boot of Tane Robinson gets it over the crossbar and through the uprights. The Rivers extend their lead to 4. They take the lead. We've seen 3 or 4 lead changes in this game. Probably a testament to how close these two teams are in terms of skill level.
And I think the interesting fact is that these teams wouldn't have seen each other in person this season, coming from the northern and southern pools, as we see the kick-off out on the full. An error from Monaro. Here's a chance for Northern Rivers, a free 50 metres plus. Penalty in the centre of halfway.
And a rare error from the kick-off specialist himself, Chris Hart. A few crazy kick-offs last week in Goulburn. But the Northern Rivers are going to take this and they're going to get the ball 30 metres out, so a prime opportunity to further extend the lead and make it very hard for the Monaro Colts to come back.
Yes, if they can score here, the lead out to 4. They can add another try here, Northern Rivers. I wouldn't be calling the engraver just yet, but you'd certainly be what you want to be on them.
Those missed goals from Sam Grant in the first half might come into play, but the Colts are going to have to defend here and try and keep them out. Here goes Zeeble again. He's been hard working all day. Definitely deserves a try. He's been held short of the goal line. Time has been blown off. Trying to find out what's happened here.
Zeeble not happy with something here. I've got the feeling this might end up going against him somehow. I didn't see anything in the tackle there.
Coming from the field, it looks like.
Might simply be a blood bin ruling here from referee Butler.
And some deserved frustration if it is a blood bin rule. He's been really good today. Surely doesn't want to go off the field in such an important time in this clash.
And he has been outstanding today, Zeeble. He has been excellent for Northern Rivers as we're about ready to restart play.
Some applause as he comes from the field. I don't think there's a blood bin ruling. Maybe a popped out finger or something like that. We'll try and see what. Yeah, I think it's a popped out finger.
Oh, yes.
See there from the touchline. But the Northern Rivers have it, and they have an opportunity to go further in front. Follen through the hands, and he pulled his hand away. Did the winger Michael Dwane? In fact, yeah, it was a forward pass. Dwane looking for four, but a forward pass again. And perhaps that left-hand corner is cursed. We've seen a lot of forward passes there.
Yeah, just watching the Northern Rivers bench. We don't have a camera on it, but they're quite concerned about Zeeble at the moment with his finger.
Yeah, definite finger was pointing the other way from what
yes,
I saw.
From our position, it certainly didn't look good. It wasn't in the right position that you want your finger to face, but yeah, they're showing a lot of concern, and I think they might have just put it back into place. And
yeah, I could hear some vomit-inducing
some cries of anguish.
But nonetheless, we'll stick with the play here, and let's hope that Zeeble is okay, and let's hope his compatriots on the bench haven't fallen sick and can come back into this match. But the Colts with the football over the 30-metre line. And they're going to have to work hard with Zeeble off the field because he has been one of their best. But it is a team sport, a team effort, and they've been the better side. Some would say the Northern Rivers, it's been a very even contest as the ball comes out, and that is Ingram up over the halfway line. Quick play the ball, patch to the right-hand side they come. Nice flick pass, comes away to Cornish, and it's been those sorts of kicks that have found success, but taken well there by Follen, easily, and up over the 20 as time ticks down. You'll find that's Reece Riches, the number 3 from Ballina. Again, these outside backs trying to help out the forwards, especially with Zeeble going off the field. They're turning him on the inside. And here is Morrissey. He's been really impressive, Joe Besgrove. He comes out of dummy half, a nice show and go there. Tried to go himself, did Grant. Brought down, 35 metres short. They come the short side again. The grubber kick taken well by Chris Hardy. Dummies to the fullback.
I thought he was going to offload there to Ryan McQueen there, but he decided to hold on to it. Monaro just need, as we said with Northern Rivers in the first half, a little bit of possession and territory, and they can work their way back into it. They need that. They need that penalty. That'll buy them some territory their way, but just a little bit of patience needed by the Monaro Colts if they're to get back into this final. They're only down by 4 points at the moment as the kick finds the line about 5 metres out from the halfway.
Converted try puts them back in the lead as we see the 22 Brebner back on the field. You can see with that penalty, some communication has come back into the lineup of the Monaro Colts. They know they need to score. They need to score rather quickly. Here is Cornish, goes the short ball to Leopold, tried to get the offload away, but was brought down to ground by the captain once again, Coleman. He's done a really good job. Here goes Skidmore back onto the field, so some work, some movement on the interchange. And it is Greenwood, in fact, who's gone into the dummy half roll as Hay goes cut out past to McGee. Tried to get the offload away and did. Here's McQueen short of the line. And an ankle tap by the lock forward, Kyle Kennedy. He stopped his momentum. Last tackle, out to Hay. Looking for the cross-field kick. No. Cornish, dummies, grubbers into the in-goal. Are they going to keep them in there? They will. Somehow, great work there by Follen to keep the ball, to get possession of the ball, but it's going to be a line drop out here for Northern Rivers.
Look, I'm going back a couple of plays. We probably won't see it, but the option there from, I think it was McGee through to the fullback McQueen,
Excellent pass.
If he got the ball away, I don't know how he got it away. They had numbers on that left-hand side. If he could have got the ball away, they were into open space. But Northern Rivers need to defend here. This is the chance Monaro's been looking for. Drop out only 35 metres as they roll forward once again. The Colts, can they come off the high country and take the championship back home?
Yeah, Brebner off the bench with a great run to start the set. They're 20 metres out, so not a lot of distance to travel, but a lot of defenders there as he is Aroha Tui now Vai out of 2 tackles, trying to get out of 3, 4, possibly 5, and almost doing so. But he'll play it 5 short of the try line. Greenwood comes right-hand side. They try and just barge over. Forward pass from dummy half. Not the starting dummy half. Zach Patch. He's come in numerous times, Tyson Greenwood, to play that dummy half role when Patch comes off, and just unfortunately a bit of a forward pass there.
Certainly not what Monaro needed. They've still got time on their side, the Colts.
Yeah, 10 minutes to go.
10 minutes remaining, but the opportunities are becoming less and less for the Red and Whites. Northern Rivers holding on here at the moment to that slender 4-point lead.
Time blown off here. We'll just like another chance to thank our partners and sponsors. SLE Worldwide Australia is the major sponsor. Bar TV allowing us to stream through Facebook Live for you to watch every game of the country championships. This being the under-23s final. Victor Sports, another one of our sponsors. In the earlier game, the Ladies League Tag final, the Central Coast Roosters won 22 points to 4 over the GSR Wests Tigers. And at the moment, the Northern Rivers, they have the lead over the Monaro Colts in the 23s final. So the Northern Rivers to work it away from their own end.
Northern Rivers really need to stay calm in this final 10 minutes. They keep their heads, they'll come away with the win. Monaro, it's all in front of them. Have they got the composure, especially in the key areas, to come away with the win?
It is 26 points to 22 the score. 5 tries from the Northern Rivers. Goal kicking has been an issue, but at the moment the 4-point lead doesn't matter at this point, but they will need to defend. At the moment they're in attack. Try to look for the offload there. I believe it was Pratt. In fact, it was Kennedy. Here's the left foot kick on the last from Robinson. And again, McQueen. Well, look, I said he's been error-free, and he comes up with a crucial error there. Really unlike the captain. The Northern Rivers, a great opportunity here.
For him to go 70-odd minutes without making an error has been an excellent effort, but just an unfortunate time for him to do that.
Well, he's been error-free throughout the whole tournament. He's been sensational for the Monaro Colts. So safe at the back, perhaps that's why he's the captain. But unfortunately, it was a high-hanging kick, a good kick nonetheless from Tane Robinson. As the Northern Rivers, they're going to work it away and perhaps put on the final touches. There's still 8 minutes or so to go, but another try here could really put this game in danger for the Monaro Colts, and their defending championship could sway its way to the Northern Rivers. As they turn the 10 on the inside, that's Morrissey. A 4-point lead probably rules out a field goal opportunity. They come to the left-hand side, and here is the fullback, Follen.
Deserves a try today, the fullback. He does excellent.
Indeed. They come back the right-hand side. Robinson dummying. Try to go short. Good tackle. Last tackle. They come to the left-hand side. A grubber kick. It was off the foot of a Monaro Colts player, and they've called grounded by the Colts. I don't know who, in fact, got his hand there, but somehow they get their hand there and they live to fight another day, the Monaro Colts.
That is a big call in the context of this final. Monaro somehow, let's have a look at the replay here. I don't know who forced it or how they did it. The little dab kick into the in goal, and
perhaps it was the 6 there. The
I'm
blonde hair
sure.
of Nicholas Cornish.
My initial reaction was that they'd scored. They certainly sold it well.
Yeah, the captain, Anthony Coleman, thought he had a try, but it looks to be the number 6, Nick Cornish, getting his hand.
Got a fingernail to it somehow.
Must have.
Somehow he's got a fingernail there and forced it before the rushing Northern Rivers attack.
As we see Cleve McGee getting some attention from the medical staff here, the Monaro Colts. And
he'd be in contention for man of the match, surely.
Definitely. Let's see where this kick ends up. It's taken there. Another short kick there from Chris Hart. So good field position here for the Northern Rivers to try and put the finishing touches on what has been an entertaining contest from both these sides. Besgrove, they come out against the left-hand side. They try to go short, trying to get the offload, and he really wants this, the captain, does Coleman. The try, that is. I'm sure he wants to win as well. They go short, and it's stripped at the goal line. They're going to call a knock-on
against Northern Rivers
in the field of play, so it will be a scrum 10 metres out. Now, had it been a strip inside the in-goal, I believe that's a 20-metre tap.
It would have been play on and a 20-metre tap for Monaro.
Have ruled a knock-on, so perhaps the ball just coming forward into a Monaro
he's ruled
player.
Lost by Northern Rivers there, so Monaro getting the break they need as they bring it out of their own end. They need to go the distance inside 6.5 minutes to go.
And they've really subdued Tavito Roja Tuinalbai in this second half. He's been less impactful than he was in the first half and in the previous games of this country championships. Maybe that's why they currently lead. The defence on that right-hand side has been outstanding from guys like Anderson, and you see the lock forward Kennedy and Hoban in there as well. The Colts, they're 40 metres out from their own line. They come the short side once again here with Hay. Comes out, and here goes Shepardson. He's a real fly, but great tackle. Jersey grab there for the number 3, Reese Riches. And here comes the kick from Hay. Hanging high in the air again, and a great tackle there from Leopai. He waited till the fullback Follen had taken the ball. No penalty, and no penalty needed there as the Northern Rivers try and take it out from their own line. Again, some more pressure needed here from the Colts.
They need to force the error somehow at this end of the field. They concede the penalty, though, for inside the 10.
Now, just getting up a bit early, trying to put that shot on. Leopai did it in the chase from the kick. But on that occasion, just catching a man offside. I think it might have been Zach Patch there. Although he's just sitting there tying his shoelace, so perhaps he was just doing that then. But the Northern Rivers, they get another penalty. Probably the penalty slightly favouring them in the second half. But they have held on to possession a bit better than the Monaro Colts, and they've done well inside the half to score points.
4-1 the penalty count on our sheet in the second half in favour of Monaro. Inside the final 5 minutes of the country championship final.
So 26 points to 2, so they need a try and they need to convert it to go ahead by 2 points. And here is the fullback once again, Follent, trying to use his footwork to get around them, but it's Greenwood again with good defence. They come to the left-hand side. It's been the side that's been dangerous, or was in the first half, but good defence again there from Cornish on Ben O'Gorman. Last tackle. Out to the right they come. Some footwork here from Robinson. A left foot grubber kick, and there he is, safe as can be. Ryan McQueen takes it, and, well, 20 metres out from their own line. Not many opportunities for the Northern Rivers to score another try. The Colts are going to have to hang on to possession here.
Time becoming a factor now for Monaro. Only 3.5 minutes remaining as
great
they go
offload
down that
there.
left-hand side. Shepardson not held to the 40. The halfway, he's over it. Still going, Kyle Shepardson. He's been excellent from the Marimbula Pambula Bulldogs. Is this the last chance? Saloon doors being swung open by the Monaro Colts. Do they want to walk in, though?
Here's Nukin Geary. And some great work there from Shepardson on the left-hand edge. Here's Cornish. They're trying to get up out of the line, put some pressure on the 5'8". Here's the last patch. Short side they come. Are they going to kick it? Yes, they are. Chris Hart taken well there. Trying to get a one-on-one strip, I believe, there was Cornish. But Northern Rivers, they've got to go from coast to coast in order to score a try, level the game, and then they've got to convert the try to win the game. So where are they going to get this from? Is it going to be their captain, Coleman? Is it going to be Tane Robinson? Duane's already crossed the stripe 3 times.
Monaro needs to force an error here, 30 metres out from the Northern Rivers line. They need to force an error if they're to have a chance inside the last couple of minutes.
It is, in fact, the Northern Rivers with the lead, 26 points to 22. A good set here. Here goes Chris Hart. Needs to specialise in something else at the moment. Tries to shrug off a defender, and you can see the fatigue very late in this game. They need someone.
2 minutes.
They need someone to step up. Is it going to be the man out here on the left edge? Tavita Roja Tui now by. That's the side they come. They go back on the inside. Here's McGee looking for a support play, trying to offload, but he couldn't do it. And now they're holding down in the tackle, Northern Rivers. No penalty blown. Here's Leapai.
Great run there from McGee earlier. Now Leapai backs it up, 35 metres out.
Here's Patch. Now for Cornish, do they go for the early kick? No, they go short ball here for Madden. 1 to beat. It's the fullback Fullen and a lost ball. Great defence from the Northern Rivers. I thought Madden was over. He tried to offload the ball.
I'm still working out why he stopped. He should have just put the ears back and gone for it. Would have tied the scores, kicked to win it. We'll see on the replay. Cornish, a flat ball there. Madden, he was going at half pace. He should have just put the ears back, got the ball away. It wasn't the best pass. The skipper couldn't hold on to it. But Northern Rivers, I think they're going to get there from here. Inside 40 seconds to go. Northern Rivers are about to be, you would suspect, 2018 Country Rugby League champions in under 23s.
Well, the Colts trying to start a bit of a biff, a bit of a fight, but they were trying to get a win against the feed. Perhaps that's their only opportunity now, unless we can see a lost ball here from the Northern Rivers.
Be looking for the one-on-one steal if you're Monaro.
Surely players know how to pack scrums with 30 seconds to go. They don't seem to forget how to do it earlier in the game.
I'm not going to upset half our footballing community by making any comments, but I'll leave that to your imagination. As we see Northern Rivers over the quarter and out, I think that'll just about do it.
Well, it's been a long time coming, and the Colts, they are the defending champions. But it looks like the trophy is going to change hands. And after the 64 points they scored last week, we knew this was going to be a great game to watch, and it has been. And Coleman, the captain, just takes it with 2 seconds to go. He won't want to play the football. There's the siren. And Northern Rivers Regional Rugby League have won the under-23s country championships, 26 points to 22 over the Monaro Colts. The defending champions, they've been dethroned by Northern Rivers. And the green and gold, they were just the better side on the day. It was a very close contest, but just an extra try in it.
And what a game we've had here at Harvey Shepherd Field, Kirkham Park, Camden today. Northern Rivers, deserved winners. Monaro, desperately unlucky not to get the points and get the win in the final. But Northern Rivers, an outstanding effort from the boys from the far north coast. They get the win, they get the trophy, they get the accolades. They get to say they are the champions in 2018.
Well, I think it's safe to say we've seen everything out here today. We saw a hat-trick to Michael Duane, a few great tries out there on that left edge. Kyle Shepherdson with an amazing offload to Vita Aroha Tui now by going through the try scorers. Like we said, a hat-trick to Michael Duane. Ben O'Gorman scored on the left edge as well, and Kyle Kennedy from Maris Lismore getting the try. They changed the goal kicking halfway through the contest. They had Sam Grant was unsuccessful with his 2 first conversions, but Tane Robinson coming in, kicking 3 from 3. And for the Monaro Colts, Kyle Shepherdson, Tavita Roja Tui now by Cleve McGee and Tyson Greenwood. The 4 tries there, 3 from 4 from Derek Hay. But Northern Rivers 4-point winners.
Yep, a great afternoon of rugby league here at Harvey Shepherd Field. Central Coast 22-6 winners over GSR West's Tigers in the Ladies League tag. And Northern Rivers 26-22 over Monaro in the under-23s final. Been an excellent day of rugby league. You can see in the background the Monaro boys shattered that they couldn't get the win this afternoon. But Northern Rivers, to the winners go the spoils. They deserve that win. I tell you what, it'll be a fun old bus ride back up the coast tonight.
And both the Northern Pool teams, both in the Ladies League Tag and the under-23s, coming out on top here in both of today's contests. And I don't think there's much more we can say. It's just been a great day of rugby league and Ladies League Tag.
Certainly has. The Ladies League Tag was a good comeback win from Central Coast. The Northern Rivers and Monaro sides put on a thriller here in the under-23s final, and no arguments with the better team winning on the day. Northern Rivers get the trophy. As I said, it'll be a fun old bus ride back home tonight for the boys in the green and